Beyond Saltmarsh is a game played by adults and recorded for an adult audience. Sometimes we use adult language and explore adult topics. Consider yourself warned.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Beyond Saltmarsh. I'm your humble Dungeon Master, Dave, and I am excited to jump back into the wonderful world of Greyhawk with my good buddies, the players, the stars of this show. Let's jump over and meet those folks. Say hi, fellas.
Hi, fellas.
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
Hey, everybody. My name is Andy. I'm playing Rhunar Deg, an 8th level human dual sword wielding Battlemaster fighter and captain of the Good Buddy. One thing he remembers from last session is falling asleep drunk in his cabin, wondering to himself if they now have a deck wizard on the boat.
I'm Kirk. I'm playing Byron Hern, 7th level Swashbuckler rogue, 1st level fighter. A few things that Byron remembers. He's very sad that Erin's gone. He also feels really bad that he yelled at all the crew. And let Erin's brother die. And is especially worried about Rhunar, who has been hoarding copious amounts of weapons.
I do need a little help there.
Yeah. That's funny. Thanks, Kirk.
Hey, it's me, the new guy, Tenoch Knucklebones, who is a wizard. He identifies not, however, as a deck wizard, but prefers Deckromancer.
Deckromancer. Okay.
Deckromancer.
All right.
Yeah.
I like it.
Significant things. He joined the crew in their quest to find this botanist or whatever. So that's interesting. He's got a new crew. There's a bunch of stuff that he hasn't talked to the party about yet, about what's really going on, so that'll be cool later. Pew pew spells.
Thanks, Chad.
Hey.
Oh, okay.
I'm Michael. I'm playing Theo, who is now has competition for being the deck wizard or decumancer, and he's not okay with that. That's going to get awkward. Things he remembers from last sessions that stuck with him. One, he was very confused to find himself talking to his old buddy Sails and having a purpose other than I just want to be sailing. So that has him a little stopping to reflect on his life. And the other moment he clearly remembers is when him and Byron went, "Oh yes, we're murdering a devil lord. We're on the same page there, buddy. It will die. It's going to take some work, but we're getting there."
Nice. That's great. I asked the guys to add in a little bit of what their characters were focused on from the last session. I think that'll be kind of a fun addition to our intros. Let's see, before we jump into the game, a couple of announcements. Chad, I know you have a big one.
I do. Not the biggest of announcements, but it's a big announcement. Tomorrow.
It's large.
It is large. Tomorrow we will be starting a brand new campaign with a brand new set of players, who some of which look conspicuously like players that we already have. But there will be some new faces. We're going to be playing Midwinter's Keening. I will be dungeon mastering. It is a Norse-inspired game written by some dudes over in Turkey. They're called Dream Realm Storytellers. The campaign setting is called Svealand. I'm very excited. This is a PSA for my players. Crying is a free action.
Oh, not that again.
Do you need to borrow my t-shirt, Chad?
No, that would be weird.
Yeah.
But I might get my own one.
You should. Gemmed Firefly is where I got that. Nice. Let's see. What else do we have? This is my third D&D session this week. I've got 3 more because I'm going to GaryCon virtually. And I'm excited to play in a game that's being run by the Time Lord's wife tomorrow. I will be playing a 12th level Knight out of Tasha's, which I'm excited. I've no experience with that
I am so
class.
jealous of you.
It'll be fun. It will be streamed on Twitch. Do I know any of those details? You'd think I might know that, but it's going to be on the Gary Con Gaxmore Twitch channel. So check that out. Maybe we'll drop a link in the chat if we think of it. And yeah, and then Chad's game tomorrow night. I'm super excited to be a player in. And then there's one more with John Birchfield that I'm in for Gary Con. So thanks to all the DMs out there for doing DM stuff. You guys are awesome. Let's see. Oh, because of Gary Con, we will not have a episode of Roll Your Doom this weekend, just as an FYI, but we'll be back in 2 weeks with a show that we'll announce. It's a secret because we haven't quite figured out what it's going to be yet. So it's a secret to us too. But
It's
anyhow,
a secret to everyone.
Yep, it's a secret to everyone.
But
But
kind of a seat of our pants sort of guys right now.
there's a lot going on right now. It's a busy
Yeah.
time. Busy time.
Yeah.
So, but we will have an episode, whether it's with an interview or a product review, or maybe it's just Chad and I talking about something. Who knows? We'll figure it out. But in the meantime, guess what? We're going to go back to Greyhawk and play some Beyond Saltmarsh. And guess what? I have a recap. Let's do a recap now. All right. So I'm sure all of you watched the episode, but I'll recap it for you. In our last episode, the Deg Gang dealt with the aftermath of their fateful battle in the Pillars of Hell. Having lost Irin to a deal with the devil Aphis, the party found themselves back in the Santori dungeon where the Hold Wardens had arrived to make sense of the battle and the cult, and then the sudden reappearance of the party. Byron rushed in to revive an unconscious Theo, but was unable to save Kuda, as Chad mentioned earlier. Kuda had mentioned something about his brother before dying in Byron's arms, and then dropped at his side a crystalline talisman of amber coloration. Theo explained to the ward guards about the portal to hell, the cultist ritual that had opened the portal, the loss of their friend. The commandant began to question Rhunar a little bit more aggressively to explain why they were there. Rhunar explaining that they had been following up on a recent murder in the void that led them to this underground chamber. Theo was able to recover the strange talisman, although the wardens were asserting that as evidence it should be handed over. There was a little bit of a friction there. Theo refusing to hand it over, insisting that the talisman was the property of their dead companion. And the tension between the parties was building. And at that moment, a tall woman in a purple cloak waltzed in and intervened, leading the party out of the dungeon. And as they did, they passed by a group of wardens gathered around a dead cultist. And as they walked past this group, they heard, "Is that who I think it is?" And this is important. Well, I'll get to that in a second. But outside the party discovered that this woman, her name Leonore Valenz, was sent by their contact Alesco Maricona to extract them from the crime scene. She told them to go get some rest and then to stop by Alesco's office the next day. So they returned to the good buddy, grief-stricken and in shock from the loss of their friend Irin. Next morning, Rhunar gathered the crew to announce the loss of Irin and that a memorial would be held that evening at sundown. The gang then made their way to meet Alesco. Alesco revealed that this cultist that these wardens had been commenting on, the cultist that Byron killed in the dungeon, was a warded man named Lord Cyrus William Ray, the retired captain of the Wrecking Squall. As awarded members of the Fivefold Council are essentially untouchables, Alesco was suggested that the party may be in some sort of a danger. So he wanted to maintain the relationship. They had been doing some really good work for him. And so he offered the gang a job that would take them out of Monmurg for a time, sort of let things cool off a bit. And he asked them to travel to Sybarate Island to retrieve a man named Dr. Octavio Gra, an ethnobotanist who had been working in the Amadio and went missing on his return trip. They were asked to go to Cyber, find the good doctor, and return him and his cargo to Monmurg. So they agreed to take the job and get out of town for a bit. And at this point is when the blue-skinned dragonborn named Nadar brought in a halfling fellow named Tenoch Knucklebones. That's Chad's new character, who had some experience in the jungles of the Amadio. In fact, that is partially where he's from, and that this halfling would accompany them to Cyber. So there was some shopping that went on, some effort to gain supplies. That evening, there was a memorial for Irin. They had dropped anchor in a secluded bay as the sun was going down. The barrel of rum was tapped. Byron and Rhunar gave very moving speeches about their companion, retelling some of the stories that were classics from our adventures. Tears were shed, rum was guzzled, and many stories of Irin's bravery were told. Later that evening, there was a discussion amongst Deg, Theo, Byron, and their new companion, Tenoch. Turns out that Tenoch, with a fantastic history roll, knew quite a bit about cyber. And he told them a lot about the environment that they were getting into, the politics surrounding the small island. And when asked if their journey would be safe, Tenoch offered to speak with Mother Tiger, the deity that he communicates with to gain his divination and his visions. The party watched as Tenoch performed this really cool ritual that Chad did an awesome job describing. And Chad, I meant to give you a inspiration point for that, by the way, so jot that down. The vision, however, led Tenoch to recommend that the gang proceed with caution. And at that point, the lights came down, everybody made their way to their rooms to sleep, and we now wake on the morning following that, the first full day of travel on a 3-day journey. And let's
For a 3-day journey.
Yes, sir. So, at this point when you wake up, fellas, the crew is active. They're getting things ready. They've already made ready the ship. They're pulling up the anchor, basically awaiting your orders on where they're going and where they're headed. So, in terms of the roles that each of you plays on the ship, I'm assuming, is it safe to assume that Rhunar is still captain of the ship? Yes. Theo, are you still working helmsman? We haven't really talked about these roles for a while, but in the past you were the helmsman, Theo, I believe.
Yeah, I have the skill set for it, so.
Okay. Boatswain was Byron, doing his duty there. Quartermaster was Fritz. We now have an arcanist. If you want that job, you certainly don't have to take it. A decromancer.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, so Tenoch. And we also have a cook, whose name suddenly I can't remember. Alphonse, thank you. So, I guess what I'd like you to do is let's get a D20 from all 4 of you.
All right.
We'll see what the conditions are like on the ocean today. All right.
I rolled twice. My bad.
I'm gonna roll 2 more dice, which is for my class ability. So don't mind them in this context.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah. Even more, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
God damn, I love being a divination wizard,
Yeah, that's
boys and
pretty
girls.
sweet. That is
Holy-
really sweet.
Holy cow.
Natural 20, huh? All
Mother
right.
Tiger is not fucking around today, apparently.
She never is. Sometimes she eats you, but I mean, she's never fucking around.
And this might be something for, I don't know if this is for the captain to keep track of, but the morale right now for the crew is a +4. I haven't talked a whole lot about morale, but it can fluctuate from between -10 and +10. And various factors will affect that as we go through the game, and morale can come into play, especially if it starts getting close to 0 or into the negative realm.
Okay.
So, did you have a question about that?
Sorry, you said it was a +4?
Correct.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I was just going to ask real quick to the group, does anybody remember if we paid the crew once we got to Monmerg?
We did
Like
when
after-
we made it to Monmerg. We haven't paid them since we went on our adventure to the when we investigated the murder. We literally paid them right before we investigated the murder.
Yeah.
So we only owe him
So-
2 days.
I think, yeah, or even just a day.
But okay, do you remember how much we paid them?
For the week.
Yeah, we paid them
'Cause
for
it had
all
been
the
a week.
time that it had been.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're paid up to get current, basically.
Yeah.
9 days. Okay. 2.
And I'm pretty sure you did that math already. So any
Yep.
number that you have written on your piece of paper, I guarantee it's the right number.
Yep.
Especially if it's high.
Yeah,
Especially if it's high.
I didn't write it in my notes, but I did record it in the budget, so I think we're good.
Cool. Yeah,
Okay.
All right.
perfect.
All right, guys. So the conditions right now on the ocean, there's a strong wind blowing. It's an easterly wind, so it's at your back, which is conducive to increasing the amount of travel that you'll make. There's very little swell on the ocean. However, it's very calm surface water, and there is just a light, actually no precipitation. It's just a beautiful day, glassy, a breeze to push you along. So you're gonna do instead of the 7 hexes that you normally would be able to travel, you're gonna be able to make up a couple extra and do 9, which is great. So you're gonna make up some time here. Now let me bring over the map. So you guys, I don't know if you can see it, but you're up here. The good buddy ship. If you can see where I'm pinging, hopefully.
I can't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can also see the ship that is there.
Yes, sir. There is a ship.
Which is nice.
All right. So this is kind of cool. Theo, since you rolled a natural 20, please roll another D20 for me.
We have been blessed. Oh, man,
Lucky number 7?
With
Okay.
a squid.
We've been blessed with a squid.
It's eating our crew.
Okay. Perfect.
If the squid eats our crew and then we eat the squid, did we also eat our crew?
Correct.
You are what
You eat.
you eat.
So the squid is your crew, and then you eat the squid, so you're actually eating your crew.
That's messed up.
So we are our crew.
Circle of life.
Yeah, it really is. All right, Captain, are you going to use your navigator's tools to chart a course?
Oh, I thought we did that already.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
You have to do it every day.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Yep.
Yes, I would like to do that.
Yeah,
And you
shit
do
changes when
have
you're
a
sleeping.
map, so you do have a +1 bonus to this roll.
Now, would I roll for navigator's tools or water vehicles?
Is
Navigator's
that our
tools.
course?
Okay.
And you can either roll with wisdom or intelligence. I think I put in the. You should probably open up your roles and responsibilities sheet just to have it open on the side so you can see it. But
Okay.
let's see. Navigator's tool, yeah, using intelligence or wisdom.
I had advantage on, sorry.
Okay, so that
Well, I'm
definitely
helping,
succeeds.
So would that give advantage?
Nope. That definitely succeeds with a 22. So now, the helmsman, basically, Theo, what you do as the helmsman is you make a roll to follow that course, to implement that direction. And that is going to be made with advantage because of the success from the captain's exceptional navigation skills. And this is a water vehicles check.
Which stat in this case?
You could do wisdom. That's great.
Or intelligence?
Either one of those will work for me.
Now we wait for roll 20 to catch up. There we go. Well, I'll take the 21.
Yeah, that's good. The 21 is helpful. Yes, you successfully follow this course. So you guys are able to, and Theo, I think you have control of the ship on the map. So you can go ahead and move it, what did I say, 9 9 hexes.
It will not let me pick it up and move it, but 9 straight across the coast.
Let me see here. I would like to make sure that you can do that, so give me a second.
It's like Indiana Jones. Follow the dotted line.
I'm putting in dots. I don't know if that's the way you want to go.
No, I'd want to end up at the.
Yeah, you
kind
should
of where I'm
have you should
being.
have control of it now.
There it is. Oh God, where'd it go? There we go. It's flipping about. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Does that math work? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nope, I went one too far. There we go. There's 9.
Okay.
Look out for hidden shoals. That's probably a different one.
All right. About partway through the day, this thick bank of fog, as you kind of crest the southern tip of Jetsam Island, this thick bank of fog kind of rolls down from the mountains above onto the ocean and starts to sort of make the navigation difficult. It's towards the end of the day, and some of the sailors, you can tell, are talking that they're concerned that you're so close to the shoreline, and with this thick fog settling in, it's kind of difficult to navigate. Wondering if there's reefs or not.
Well, then let's move further out. Theo the sailor would know better. Michael the player does not.
Yeah, you can move back as many as you want to. There you go.
Do that, and it's still 9.
Yep, that's still within there. So you're able to sort of, understand that there are some additional hazards that pose themselves when you can't see very well. So there's this thick fog. Is there anything that you guys in particular want to accomplish during the first day of travel?
What time did you say it was? Sorry.
It can be any time of the day, really. If you guys are going to take care of any sort of role play or activities, this is just to kind of give us an idea of where we make it to on the day's journey.
And it takes 3 days to get there, right?
Depending on conditions, but that's what you estimated before you left Monmurg.
I guess I'm.
Yeah, if we can keep up this pace, it's going to be like 2 1/4.
Yeah, I guess I just want to know if there's another full day or.
We don't know.
Okay, no, I'm fine.
Roll a navigator's tools check for me.
Okay.
I think I would definitely
intelligence.
spend the first day kind of getting to know the ship.
Okay.
Kind of exploring the ship. I don't necessarily know a lot about ship stuff, like being a shipwright, but I've been on a number of ships. I have a thing about ships. I like to get a good feel for the boat itself, so check it out. I don't know. Yeah,
well, let's do this. We do have an actual ship map here that we can look at, so this can give you a little bit of an idea of what the ship looks like. So the upper decks are to the left, and then going down each level to give you an idea of where things are at.
What is in our hold right now?
You don't know. You guys haven't. Nobody's been in the hold ever, to be honest with you.
In the bilge?
Yep.
There's a fucking tree down there.
Yeah, that's the bilge. That's the bilge.
That's
no,
the bilge.
That's not a tree. That is the mast.
No,
in the back
what's
there.
the other thing?
Yeah.
Well, you
The
don't
thing
know.
that looks-
You haven't been down there.
Maybe we should send somebody down there at some point.
Yeah, that's one area that you guys have not gone into. It's kind of a stinky, dark, dirty place.
There's gonna be fucking whites down there. I'm not going in there.
There's like.
No, but he's busy manning the helm. Come on,
There
somebody be brave.
are
at some point I'll go down
ship
there.
whites.
There's a mysterious 13th sailor down there. Just been living down there.
It's entirely possible.
Hey, you guys! I thought you had forgotten about me.
Just eating all the debris that falls through the cargo hold.
We're
Great.
horrible people.
Mm,
Um,
delicious.
There is something I wanted to do with a couple of the crew.
Sure. Oh, and to answer your question, since you rolled a great roll on your nav tools, you know it's going to be at least another day, probably 2 full days to get there.
Okay.
Based on your
I think
charts.
I think it could probably wait until tomorrow. At this point,
That's up to
if
you,
we're gonna
sir.
do another full day.
You're the captain. Anyone else? Tenoch, tell me a little bit about your. Do you talk to anybody? How do you explore the ship? Do you just kind of walk around by yourself looking at stuff, or do you communicate with any of the crew?
Probably a little of both. You know, I feel like I'd probably walk around. You know, I might even go into like oh, what's this door? And it's like somebody's quarters. I'm not like necessarily going to ruffle around in there, but you know, he understands privacy, but he also comes from a place where privacy is a little different. But yeah, you know, walk around, kind of, you know, do the old like, you know, tap on things, like probably taste things, listen to the wood, and you know, just kind of get a feel for, I don't know, either I don't have anything that would actually give me like a metaphysical sense of the boat, but like mechanically, but he would probably like kind of do that, like whether or not it's bullshit or not, you know. Obviously, like I said, I don't have a mechanical reason to get a metaphysical sense of the boat, but you know, might like maybe you might inscribe like, you know, just kind of draw like what would be like runes of protection, or like sigils of protection and stability, like similar to things that he has tattooed on his body. You'd probably, you know, meet people, you know, talk to people, especially if they're, you know, not necessarily if they're like actively, you know, doing work, but if you know, somebody's like, I just got finished tying this rope and I'm just kind of chilling for a sec, you might strike up a conversation.
Okay.
That sort of thing. You
Roll
know?
an intelligence check, just a straight intelligence check for me.
Yes, sir. Normal roll.
15. Okay, yeah, you
15.
definitely.
Oh, sorry, I didn't say that.
You're able to pick up on quite a bit throughout the day in terms of little details that you're interested in. You observe the crew in what they're doing. Maybe someone in particular, maybe just sort of in general, but you do start to get a sense of the how things operate, the tasks that people are working through. And that will only improve over time as you're with this crew longer. You get the sense that there's a lot to learn, and you've been on ships before and contributed in other ways too. And this operates like many other. There does seem to be a pretty good, a high level of morale amongst the crew members, despite the loss. They do. They're very. This day, kind of after the memorial service, they're very kind to each other. Which is maybe something that you're not as familiar with on crews. They seem to be giving each other a little bit of sort of space and leeway, you know, which maybe they normally would maybe cut somebody off or be short with somebody. They're being a little bit more sympathetic, if for lack of a better term.
Yeah, definitely. Unlike I feel like Tenoch's been with some pretty rough and tumble crews. You know, maybe less on the good guy side of crews.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Anybody else have anything they want to accomplish during the day here?
Yeah, I want to train up a couple of the crew members on how to use a pike.
Sure, you can work with some of them on pike skills. Absolutely.
Which two guys are kind of like the I don't know, bigger, stronger of the crew?
Kyle, in terms of build, Kyle is probably the biggest. He's a half orc with a big old scar across his face, and he definitely is of the largest stature.
Okay.
But many of them are, they're all very physically fit, I would say, except for maybe Korga. Korga is a little bit, and Alphonse, Emil Alphonse is kind of scrawny.
So I'll grab Kyle, and I guess the other fucking guy has a crossbow. So how about other guy?
The other guy?
What about Kyle
Yeah.
and Korga? I know they can keep their mouths shut. Or was that Tamis? I can't remember. The guys that got arrested.
That was Korga and Tamis.
Korga and Tamis. All right. How about Kyle and the other guy?
All right, sounds good. Kyle and the other guy. Now, the other guy, actually, that's his name for people who are wondering who the heck we're talking about. His name is the other guy. Not to be confused with that other fucking guy. So you're going to work with them on pikes. Kyle's like, "Yeah, Captain, this is great. Who do you want me to stick with this prick?"
Well, basically, you guys, when I give the order boarding party, I want you guys to run up and grab these pikes.
Excuse me.
No problem. Just grab these pikes, and then we're gonna, if the attack comes from the port side or the starboard side, that's the, from this center post, you should be able to grab the pikes and start swinging them at somebody. Depending on, which direction they're coming from.
You got it, Captain. Says the other guy.
And then I'm just gonna drill with them a little bit how to just like thrust the pikes.
I'm good at thrusting, Captain. You know it.
All right.
Wait, how do you know that, Captain?
says the necromancer as he walks by, overhears the conversation. All right, cool. Yeah, you can work with those guys. Go ahead and roll a charisma check and a intelligence check for me.
Okay. Oh, straight charisma.
Okay,
Natural
that's
20.
not bad.
And then what was the other one?
Intelligence.
Intelligence.
Yeah.
Rhunar Deg, renowned teacher
Yes.
The Deg method.
8.
of nothing. Teacher of nothing. He's really good at it, though.
So if anybody's kind of watching this happen, which some of the crew are, they're busy, but you get the sense, Captain, that these guys are under your tutelage. They are extremely excited to use these weapons and to learn. They're kind of hanging on every word. They do seem slightly confused at times, like maybe your explanations just aren't quite, you're taking a little bit too high level Keelan Marine approach to it, and they're sort of like, trying to figure it out. They're not dumb, but it's just the delivery's a little off. And you've never been like really an instructor per se, but you're doing the best you can, and you get the sense that they're picking up on some of the tricks that you've taught them.
All right. Great.
All right. Anyone else? Theo, did you have something that you wanted to do?
Not until that evening.
Okay. All right. So, sorry. Go ahead, Byron.
If Theo's not going to be doing anything until the evening, I might bother Theo and see if he'd help me with Dralian's journal some more.
I mean, we can work on it if you like. I just have to stay here with my hand on the rudder. Doing my job.
Then I'll sit next to you, and I'll just have the journal in my hands, and every once in a while I'll hold it up to you and be like, "What do you think this means?"
That's like a cue.
Fritz could probably steer for a little bit.
Oh, we do have a rudder. Nice. As opposed to a...
Fritz could, but this is my job, and I am going to take care of it.
So, Byron, you're going to take a stab at the journal.
Yep.
Okay. Ooh.
Literal stab. That's all
Yep.
he's doing.
Yep.
Oh,
Just a literal stab.
So you spend the day going over this journal and just racking your head. You're having a hard time concentrating. You reread some of the entries from before, and you get caught up on some of the new things that you pick up on. Focused, back on sort of the steps, the idea of this Captain Solana and Narisban, and that he might have some answers for you, but you're unable to decipher any of this strange writing that Aubrek has in his journal at this time. Unfortunately.
That's like 3 Qs in a row. I don't know what that is.
Rough.
Yeah.
ouch.
So, the afternoon comes. This fog, as I mentioned, rolls down over the ocean. The night starts to threaten to arrive. The guys are sort of anxious to drop anchor. You want to look for a place in that hex area to drop anchor, or what would you guys like to do? Okay.
Captain, do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Okay. Go ahead, Theo, and let's do another water vehicles check. And Rhunar, if you want, you can use your spyglass for a perception check with advantage if you'd like.
I will do that.
Oh,
Well, it's just a
man.
26.
Yeah,
Oh,
no big deal. No big deal.
That's a lot of 20s we've cast so far.
I
Yeah, it really
We're-
is.
We're screwed later.
You think so? All right, so Rhunar, it's tough. This fog is not playing along with your plans to try to find something with the spyglass. In fact, you bring it up to your eye and all you see is like just soupiness in front of you, thick fog hanging in the coves. But you do pick out a spot that you think will be, somewhat protected, and luckily your helmsman is on his game, because he deftly navigates the good buddy to this location, and you are able to drop anchor. The sails are furled, and the day of travel comes to an end. I need one more D20, please. From
Kirk,
anyone.
you want this one?
Do it, Kirk.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Okay.
Not like that.
Oof. Wow.
Wow.
Yowza.
I roll a lot of natural 20s. This was bound to happen.
Yeah, it
Told
is.
you it was coming.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Okay. So, as you prepare for the evening, Theo, you mentioned that you had something that you wanted to do this evening.
Yes, once anchor is in place, Theo is going to go find Tenoch. Whatever Tenoch is at this point. I don't know. Where is the Tenoch?
Where would I be?
I don't know. That's why I asked you.
The
Oh,
bilge.
I might. That was weird. I'm probably, you know what? I might be up in the crow's nest.
That's what out of character. I was going to suggest that. But it's like,
Yeah.
maybe I got that wrong. I didn't get it wrong. So Theo hauls himself up to the crow's nest, just kind of pokes his head through. Hi.
Hello.
Can I ask you to ask Mother Tiger to see if she knows anything about an ensorcelled item? Or do I just ask you and you ask? I don't know the
Yeah,
order
I
of how
mean-
this works.
I can take a look. See what things say.
Theo pulls out the amber amulet and just kind of holds it up and goes, well, this came off our dead friend's brother, and we had not seen it before. It may have come from hell. We are not certain. It certainly went through hell. so I have been recalcitrant to do too much with it. But my own study into it has not been rewarding. Perhaps you seem to be a man who in touch with greater beings than I.
Yeah. I will. And I gotta check something really quick. Being new to how this all works.
While he's checking that, was there anything that Rhunar and Byron wanted to be doing this in the evening?
Byron's going to be Googling recalcitrant.
Nice.
All right.
I'm gonna, regular boatswain duties, walking around, checking the ship, making
Sure.
sure things are in place, making sure, ropes getting coiled right, make sure knots are tied tight.
Checking shit, getting ripped.
Rhunar, at some point, Fritz comes up to you. Yeah, Captain, this fog here makes it real tough to see anything coming. We are in pirate waters, so we best make sure we set good watch. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Like an extra man on watch, do you think?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Aye, aye. And he walks away. Tenoch?
All right. So, so I'm gonna do three things, because I, of course, do not technically have identify memorized today, mechanically speaking.
Isn't it a ritual?
Shut up! I'm new at playing a wizard.
Okay.
Hang on. Yes, I could cast it as a ritual. I was gonna. Okay, yeah, that works. That's that's just better. I'll do that.
That
yeah,
made it out of character what I was hoping for.
yeah. I forget that I'm still new at this.
Does it still
We
need
used
to
to
be
punch things.
prepared, though?
Now, rituals you can cast whenever, but they take
10 minutes.
10 minutes to cast. So you can't anything that you can cast as a ritual, you can't just cast like right now, right?
It's the one
Oh.
thing I really miss as a warlock is I don't have ritual casting.
It's because you're not a book lock.
You're not wrong.
It's true.
All I got's this dummy thick magical sword.
Is
sword,
that
girl.
just to clarify, is that a class thing that allows you to cast it even if it's not prepared?
That's just the nature of ritual spells.
There's an entry in most casters under the spell casting that says ritual casting, and it has just a paragraph blurb that's in all of them. Warlock is like the only caster that doesn't have ritual casting in it.
Yeah, so it says you can cast a wizard spell as a ritual if that spell has the ritual tag and you have the spell in your spell book. You don't need to have the spell prepared.
Perfect. All right. Very cool.
This is what it's like having a real caster in the party.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I was going to cast Augury on it and then take an hour to Arcane Recovery and then cast Identify, but this works way better. The ham-fisted way to play a wizard. Yeah, I'll let's see. Let me just double check here. What does you know what I can't. I'm gonna be honest right now. I do not believe I have. Yep, I did not write down 100 gold piece pearls into my inventory. Because I didn't think of it. So I will say.
Seems to me someone else on board the ship has pearls, just FYI.
Oh, nice. Well, I will say. Yes, that's the magic necessary to perhaps find out what you need to know is here. It's something that I can speak to Mother Tiger. However, there are certain items that I would need to recover before I could do such a thing. Usually, they come from clams, pearls.
I was thinking oysters. I thought it was going to be a very different kind of magic.
That's fair.
Hold on. Captain Byron! Theo yells down from the crow's nest.
Doesn't
Yeah,
make it
what-
through the fog.
What is it?
Any of you all have a fucking pearl?
I might have one.
Can I borrow it? I'm
Sounds
not
like a-
going to do anything weird with it. I'm just going to let the nice shaman up here use it to contact his god to give us an answer to the identity of the strange thing we pulled from hell.
Okay. As long as I can get it back, it doesn't like burn it up or anything afterwards.
Okay,
does
looks
it?
back up. It's not going to like be turned into dust and then go on the wind to the umbral realm.
No.
Okay, yeah, we should be fine.
Because this particular pearl is worth way more than 100 gold. So, just FYI.
Okay, we'll get it right back to you. And Theo kind of makes a magic gesture, and a magic hand just appears next to him, going, bloop.
Oh, I'll give him one black pearl.
Blub, 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 blub,
A
blub,
black,
blub, blub,
a
blub,
black
blub.
pearl.
Yep.
And Theo just lets the magic hand take the pearl over to Tenoch.
Ooh, this will do nicely. All right, now I've started this whole tradition where I have to like come up with cool stuff about how I cast the spell. Yeah, the two of us are up here. So, yeah, let me. I'll take the amulet from you, and I set it down and take it out. I feel like this time I'm gonna take out a bag. So I sit down. I like kind of take out my spell book hide and kind of set it there, and my drum, and I take out a small pouch that kind of rattles a bit, not like metallically, but like bone and teeth wise, and he kind of dumps out a number of teeth and claws and bones from various different types of animals, and you can see that they have different things etched into them, like different sigils and symbols on different sides and whatnot. And he takes them in his hand and shakes them and tosses them out and stares at them. Then he takes out some of that similar incense that he had before and lights that, and picks up his drum and starts to play the drum a bit, and does some chanting and whatnot, and then does that for like 8.5 minutes or so, and then takes the teeth and claws and bones and casts them again. Finish the identify spell. Oh, and then right before the end of it, he smashes the black pearl to dust. I'm pretty sure because when you use most things to cast spells, they go away.
Actually, the spell will say it specifically, and I think
Oh, does it?
use
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah,
damn
some
it. I really
spells will
just...
consume the
Whatever
items
you need to
from
do, I'm not here to stop you. I'm just letting you know what's rules minimum necessary.
I'm
That's
just saying
fair.
it's
Yeah,
worth
that one
5
does not
times more than the pearl you needed.
consume, I believe.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, that makes casting Identify a lot easier. I always
You can
thought
totally
it was
smash
weird.
it if you want to.
I always thought it was weird when people were always like, I'm going to cast Identify like 9 times in a day. And I'm like, where did you get those pearls from? It's the same pearl.
It's the same pearl, yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. And then I don't smash it. But yeah, so I cast
Identify.
I cast Identify.
And you said part of that was playing a drum, correct?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
I play the drum. I cast some bones.
Captain Deg, at some point while this ritual is taking place, is this all taking place up in the crow's nest? Is that right?
Yep, because that's where he came up.
Okay.
He came up to me. I was kind of up there, keeping watch and
You
trying to see
overhear,
above the fog.
Rhunar, you overhear Tamis come up to the first mate, Fritz, and he says, that drumming might be giving away our position a bit. Should we be concerned? And Fritz is like, yeah, it's gonna be fine, Tamis. It'll be okay. Just go back. Go get some dinner. Up in the crow's nest, Tenoch, you get this strong sense that there is a transmutation and abjuration magic that appears to be emanating from this item. The item also gives you this sense, although you understand it's used to be a way of connection or a tether to something that is an aberration, unnatural, something that in the blink of the moment, you close your eyes during the ritual and you see this jagged spiraling shape in your mind's eye that's spinning and kind of drawing you down, almost like a funneling, as if it's kind of drawing you deep into some sort of depth below. And you get the sense that there's something in this, almost like a vortex of chaos, and that this device allows the wearer to connect with that. Now, as you do this, you've got your eyes closed and you're focused on this item. You see coming from the center of this spiraling vortex of jagged and chaotic lines, this hand that's wrapped with chains around it, coming back up towards you. I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw for me.
Well, I killed his new character. Look forward to the new one.
Wisdom saving throw.
Yes,
you
sir.
know what? I'm gonna use my fucking natural 20.
Good call.
Smart. Very smart.
So that's a 24.
Oh my
total.
god, yes.
Yep.
Holy
Okay.
shit. Yeah, that could have gone real bad.
As the hand comes towards you, as if it's reaching towards you, you can see before you open your eyes, the chains start to pull it back down into this vortex and it disappears. You open your eyes and you get the sense that this is some sort of a connection to something horribly, horribly evil and terribly powerful.
So more power, like mechanically, it's more powerful than I can identify.
What you have identified is that it is a tether to that entity.
Oh, okay.
And that is what it does. That is what it is.
Oh, I see.
That's the use of that item.
I understand you now. Quick question. Does any of this feel? Does any of this imagery feel like the some of what I have, some of my visions that you and I have talked about?
I would say on one level, yes, because some of your vision that you have, some of the symbolism in the visions that you have seen in your rituals have dealt with this idea of chaos unraveling, of chaos sort of wrapping itself around the world, of something from deep down inside of somewhere, something emerging from the depths, if you will.
Right.
And then all that other stuff that we talked about, off
Yep.
camera. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I think I kind of almost like, kind of like dodge out of the way, like when you're playing a video game and you're like moving with the controller, kind of that, like this isn't. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I just I look over at Theo, and I say, oh, Mother Tiger says, "You're fucked." This is
was
bad.
why I was worried about it.
This is bad news. It's some kind of like conduit. There's some chaotic force, a being in chains, that this, whatever this is, connects the user, the wearer, almost me, to. I would destroy it if you could, or handle it not at all. If you can't destroy it, it's really bad. It's not good.
I need a judgment caller to know if I need to make a roll. Is Theo, given his Arcana skill, aware of the dichotomy between devils and demons as lawful and chaotic?
Are you skilled, proficient in Arcana?
Yes.
Make an Arcana roll for me. We'll let the dice adjudicate.
$10.
Because of your skill, it was a lower DC. Yes, you do know the dichotomy between devils and demons. Absolutely.
So Theo just kind of makes a face and goes, oof. I was hoping it was a conduit to a certain devil lord that we need to kill, but that does not sound like a devil, which is of concern. The important part is we don't fucking touch it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna touch it.
No, and Theo literally uses magic hand to put it back in the bag. While I'm at it, you are a practitioner in arts, yes?
I'm sorry, you garbled.
You are a practitioner of the arcane arts, yes?
Yes. Some would have called me a wizard. That's not the word our people use, but
They would not call you a space cowboy.
They would not. Or I can't remember the next line. I'm sorry.
The gangster of love?
That's right. I'm not the gangster of love.
That's fine. Oh, in that case, for your help and your services here, I would like to provide these to you because I cannot use them. And Theo pulls out 5 scrolls that are obviously encoded with spells and just offers them over.
Oh. Thanks.
Because I'm sitting on a stack of scrolls that aren't on my spell list, so I can't use them.
Nice.
We got those a long time ago.
Yeah.
Cool. Scrolls.
I will send them over to you on the side shortly. And that was it. I just wanted to check on that whole, I wanted the guy with Identify to look at the amulet.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Let's see. Rhunar, roll a d20 for me. This is for Emile Alphonse for the meal, for the food that he prepares this day. Because the cook is an important person on a ship. The quality of the food is an important thing.
Nice.
14.
A 14, yes. The meal that night that is served is with fresh ingredients procured from Monmerg just the day before, spices that Emile was able to pick up on some of his time on shore. As you probably are getting to know now, he is kind of a culinary nerd, and he seeks out various different recipes and ingredients. And so the food is, while a little bit different than what folks are used to, you're starting to really see that with the right ingredients, Emil can really whip up a nice spread for the crew. So people are happy. The food is good. The fog brings a little bit of a challenge to sort of keeping watch, but the night falls and you guys set a watch. Are any of you going to actually take watch? Okay, Theo, you're going to take a watch.
Definitely taking watch.
Okay.
I'll take a watch.
Okay.
I'll take my pearl back, please.
Yeah.
Do you ask Theo for it or Tenoch for it?
Tenoch. Could I get that pearl back?
Here, catch. I'm just kidding.
roll a dexterity save.
No. I'll climb it down.
I wanted to see it rolling across the deck with people like diving for it and then bumping it, and it keeps going further towards the edge. No.
Yeah. Oh, wait, we have to get over to the other side of the ship so the deck comes up, so it comes back this way.
Rhunar puts on his fish head and dives in the water to go get it.
Go after it. Yeah, exactly.
All right, so if anybody's going to take a watch, go ahead and roll a D20 perception check for me.
I'll take a watch too.
Or like a D12 perception check instead.
Absolutely. Go ahead. Just you, though.
Sure, well, I'm not going to do that.
Oops.
And then I'll roll one for crew members.
It's
right.
foggy out here.
It is very foggy and extremely difficult to see. It's a little deceptive because you hear the waves that are echoing from them themselves crashing on the shore that's just out of view. You know, you're not far from shore necessarily. You can hear the waves crashing. You can hear the sounds of the ocean at night, but it almost seems to be sort of echoing around through the fog, and it's a little disorienting. But you make it through the night without any sort of complications. Nothing strange happens in terms of anything unexpected. You wake the next day, and let's find out what the weather's going to be like on day 2 of the journey. Let's everybody roll a d20 for me.
Natural 20.
Nice.
I think Byron and Rhunar have switched places
I've got a 15
in the
now,
hierarchy
you got a
of dice.
15. I think that means we have a flush.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do this. Go back over to the map. All right. So what did we get? A 14?
13, 14, 15, and 20.
Not too shabby, fellas. Not too shabby at all.
And I'm rolling my portent dice. Not as good today. Not as good.
Oh, can't you hand the 2 to other people, like bad guys?
Yeah, I was gonna say that too could come in useful.
Here we go.
Let me check.
You could replace one of those
That's
rolls
true,
with one
yeah,
of your portent dice if you want.
Yeah. Oh no! I just rolled those 2 dice. I just rolled were my portent dice for the day.
I'm saying you could use those if you want to for one of the rolls for the conditions if you wanted to.
Oh. No.
Okay. All right.
Unless it's. Are you trying to get me to use the 2?
I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just giving you options.
No.
I'm
Yeah.
just giving you options.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So there's a light wind, a moderate swell. So the ocean is moving a little bit more, which gives you +2 to your speed. And what was the third one? A natural 20. You wake up in the morning and the fog has turned into this heavy, heavy rain that has started to fall. Everything is soaked. The men, you can tell, are a little grumbly as they're getting about making ready to disembark. And so you're going to lose a little bit of your speed because of this heavy rain. And also, when we roll, Theo, for your helmsman roll, it'll be at disadvantage which can be compensated for if Rhunar makes a good roll for his navigator skills. But you guys are looking at, you're going to be moving 6 hexes today.
Do you want me to roll the navigators now?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Go ahead and roll a navigator's check and add a +1 to that roll because you do have a map.
And then wisdom or intelligence, you said before?
Correct.
Right.
Oh yeah,
21.
that's a success.
Nice.
You do a great job of mapping the on the charts. It provides a advantage for Theo's helmsman check, which is discounted by the disadvantage. So it's just going to be a straight roll, Theo, for your piloting check.
Hey, closing my character sheet. One moment.
And then Tenoch, how about a D20 from you, sir?
Yes.
How about that 8? No, sorry, 10. Total of 10.
Total of 10.
Still not terrible. Whew.
The not terrible, but not what you were hoping for. The fog, the rain has really caused some problems for you today in terms of being able to stay on course. And I actually need you, Theo, to roll a d20 for me.
Same
8.
roll. Battle in the conditions.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's nothing like being strapped to a big ass boat on a rudder in waves in the rain.
There we go.
Theo's just all back.
This is why Theo has a high constitution.
Right, yeah, just all back muscle and yeah. Old man in the sea. It's not that bad. it's not that bad. Not yet.
Theo, roll a d10 for me.
Oh no, we're going off course. Oh no, that wouldn't be a 10.
Towards these.
All right.
Rolling for the number of tentacles.
It's just a giant cuttlefish that wants to be your friend.
So as the ship is progressing, what did I say? 6 hexes today. What is there anything that you wanted to accomplish today?
Not being murdered by this rudder.
Yeah, I'm glad I trained them yesterday. Bad weather for it today.
Indeed.
Um,
And you don't have to have something every day. It's up to you guys. I'm just giving you an opportunity if there's other things you
Yeah.
want to accomplish before we get to cyber. But if you don't have something, that's fine too. It's totally up to you guys.
You know, I do have one thing. If we're, I'm not going to do this while we're sailing. So once we make it to a spot where we stop, or before we leave in the morning, I want to get together Korga, Tamis, and both of the guys, and I want to take them down to the hold and kind of point towards the bilge and be like, gentlemen, we got to check down there too. We got to make sure there's no leaks. We got to check the boards. We got to make sure everything's in place. We don't have to do this very often, obviously, but we do have to do it today. And I'll go with you. I'll go with them.
Okay. So you guys are gonna go down and inspect the bilge.
Yep,
Today.
just to make sure everything's in place. Maybe sponge some of the water out.
Sure. Okay. That sounds good. We'll get to that in a second. Is there anyone else that has anything that they wanted to accomplish during this day?
I think so. I do not have the funds to say copy one of these scrolls into my spell book. But I would probably spend some time looking at them and like kind of learning and like, oh, kind of dissecting how like this, whatever the somatic components are and things like that. So when I get to the point where I may cast them, I will be more familiar with them. Not that that's something you need to do, or if I put it in a copy, end up copying one of them into my spell book, I'm better able to do that, which is part of that process. It turns out, according to the book.
And I'm going to admit that I don't know a ton about what that entails. I know there's an expense to doing that.
Yeah.
So I'll just kind of rely on you to sort of take care of figuring out how that's going to work. But
I
yeah,
will.
you could totally do that. Take a look at these scrolls, sort of get a feel for what they are, what kind of spells they are, etc. Anyone else? I do have something for Theo.
Oh, good, it's tentacles.
Go ahead and roll a d6 for me. I'm going to have you roll 6 d6s.
Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy.
Okay. 1, 3, 4, 5. Whoa. You guys just got a fat boat. Weird. There we go.
Is that when it was going away from us? So we only saw the
you saw the aft.
the stern.
I need you also, because you're now in a sort of a treacherous location, to roll a water vehicles check for me.
We're gonna run aground on Fairwind and we're gonna have to swim to Cyber.
Seeing this, can I go assist him?
Sure. You guys can roll with advantage.
Knowing that the situation is becoming crazy.
13.
Oh no!
Is the rain that
no.
bad? I thought you said it was moderate, not severe. Good lord.
Well, you failed on your helmsman's check, so that caused problems for you. Yep. I need you to, let's see, roll a. Since I've never had this happen before.
This is only our third time driving the boat and we crashed it.
I know. It's like, Mom, can I borrow the car? I promise I'll get it back.
Was it that 10 he rolled?
Yeah, it was whatever it was. I don't remember going back, but yeah, go ahead and roll. I don't even know what we have for hit points on this thing. Running aground.
And the Deg Gang was no more.
Because he would have had advantage on his pilot check after I.
No, he had but then he had disadvantage because of the conditions. To start. So
yeah,
because of
he had disadvantage because of the conditions, and then your check gave him normal.
Just regular.
Roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead and roll Theo 66 for me.
Oh, man. Only we had a telekinetic person to move the boat.
Roll low. Oh God.
The ship takes 26 points of damage.
God. I love adversity.
Slashing damage on the hull. So, and Byron, you hear it as the ship is getting close to land. You hear that as you scrape past part of of a reef or something below. You come running up to find out what it is.
Captain,
Yes.
I think we've hit ground.
Yeah, we did.
Dang.
I think it's time for us. I think we need to stop immediately. I'm gonna be running straight down. I'm gonna be looking for any holes, any water coming in anywhere.
You just hear land ho.
I'm gonna be screaming for like, bring me wood, bring me planks.
Are we there already?
Yeah, I would say I need to go inspect, see if we can find the damage.
Yeah, let's see. What do you have, Kirk, for your boatswain background? Is there something specifically that would apply here?
Actually, I believe so.
I do too.
Oh, I'm on the wrong tab. That's why I can't find my character.
Heavy fog and heavy precipitation is not great when you're on the ocean.
So I thrive under pressure as one of my personality traits. Oh my goodness.
That's good.
I know I have a boatswain background. Where I literally like I worked as a shipwright, I worked as a ship repairman. I literally stitched a fish into the side of a boat at one point because we needed to stay aground and fish help water out.
Like a Paul Bunyan over here.
So you have something called all patch it. Provided that you have carpenter's tools and wood, you can perform repairs on a water vehicle. When you use this ability, you restore a number of hit points equal to the hull of the water vehicle equal to 5 times your proficiency modifier. The vehicle cannot be patched by you in this way again until after it has been pulled ashore and fully repaired. So 5 times your proficiency modifier would be what, 15?
My proficiency modifier?
3 probably.
Yes. 15.
So here's what you can do. I'm guessing that you're going to want to take option A, but option A would be all hands on deck, patching. Option B would be let's go inspect the bilge. Which
option A is going to be
might also be very similar. To be honest with you,
I'm from Byron's perspective and my perspective combined, it's going to be a full ship inspection. So it's going to be, I'm going to be patching. I'm going to have everyone on deck searching for holes, patching holes, but I'm also going to have people in the bilge because if we bump to the ground, chances are the bilge is going to be the place we're going to be taking on the most water.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to have the sponges down there. I'm going to have the buckets down there. I'm going to have a water line for people to sponge water into buckets and pour the buckets out of the ship as fast as possible while I'm patching. So I'm not working in water.
Got it. Okay. So you're going to spend the day or the rest of the afternoon or evening at this point, I guess, sort of coordinating the patchwork. Because of your skills individually, you add 15 points of repair. So that's going to be, brings it back up to that. And then because it's late in the day, this won't apply yet, but if you spent a full day repairing, you can repair up to 50 hit points. And it costs in supplies, which I think you have some sort of estimate on what you purchased.
I believe 150 units, if I remember correctly.
So it costs you 5 units per hit point, if that makes sense. Okay. And you can do up to 50 hit points per day.
And we took 26 points of damage.
You did, and you just repaired this evening because of your sort of your jump to action with your team. You were able to repair 15 hit points right off the bat.
What? The weather's still pretty shitty.
It's bad, yeah.
Okay. What do we have for visibility around where we're at? Are we actually like aground on Fairwind Island, or are we aground on a reef or some rocks nearby, like just offshore?
You're not aground, but you did scrape a reef or something.
Okay.
So you're not like lodged up on top
We're
of
not
land.
stuck.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, but you definitely like scraped and did damage to the hull.
Okay.
Yep.
I think I'll probably using my hawk familiar, just try to as best I can, and if it proves too crazy weather-wise for the hawk, I will cast a spell to just kind of keep an extra watchful eye out on the area, make sure like nothing crazy's going on, nobody's out there trying to, oh, these guys are obviously fucked up, we're gonna go get them.
Right.
Keep an eye out, see what's going on.
Okay. So as you send your hawk out, go ahead and roll a perception check for me with disadvantage.
Alright.
I'll patch it. I love that title of that feature. I'll patch it. A
That was
3.
under my bonds.
You send up your hawk to fly around, and the rain is still pouring down, which makes it extremely difficult to see, and it's also difficult to fly because the rain is so heavy. So the hawk comes back pretty quickly, and you don't get a sense that you are in danger of being washed into shore at this point.
Okay.
From the very little that you can tell, but you are close because you can hear gulls, and you can hear the crash of waves on the shoreline over the sound of thunder and lightning. In fact, we have that. You gotta remember that we have sound effects.
And the thunder, and the thunder.
Lightning, very, very frightening. Okay, yeah. So that's basically what you get out of that.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna cast Arcane Eye, which is a 4th level divination spell. I create a magical eye thing that floats around, and I can move it around and kind of see through it and stuff. And I have to concentrate on it for up to an hour.
Okay.
Um,
Can it go underwater?
I think
It says it
that's
can't move through a solid barrier.
I think that's for you. That's for you to decide on how that would work. It does not specifically call out water, but I would at least, if I can, I might go down. I don't know how well I'd be able to see anything down there, but I might at least. Mostly, I was thinking about like checking the water kind of ahead of us and kind of trying to like follow in front of where we're going to see if I can, spot any extra weird shit like. Oh, here's a reef that we need to move out of the way for, that kind of thing. Since we are not currently anchored, or we did anchor.
You did drop anchor.
Oh, we did drop
Sails
anchor.
are
Oh,
probably
okay.
down, yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, I won't worry about that part.
It
My
says that a
apologies.
solid barrier blocks the eye's movement. I'm gonna say that water isn't a solid; it's a liquid. Because guess what? That's science, baby.
That's
Yeah.
Now, plasma would be a different story.
Correct.
Yeah. I might send it down to see what the outside damage looks like.
Okay. Now, what I will say is that when it's underwater, it's
It's not gonna be great.
It's not as great as it would be in the air on a clear day. So go ahead, and you're looking specifically at what?
Like at the hull. Look for any what the damage looks like on the hull. Probably because I got an hour, right? So spend a little bit of time like kind of looking around, around where we're at.
Okay.
Get a lay of
Damage
the
just spelled
underwater
out
land.
damage, yo.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Roll a perception check with disadvantage.
All right.
That's going to be our house rule. Arcane Eye, disadvantage underwater.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
Yes.
You send the magical orb out and down, and you run it along the hull, around the various sides of the hull, and you do see where the damage is. You can see that there are some serious scrapes, and you can see bubbles coming up from some of them, as though air is escaping, which you can interpret as you will. Your ship's right might interpret it one way, and which would be a not so good. But you do see where the damage is. It's not extensive damage, and as you kind of turn the eye and look around below you, you can see that you're not in immediate danger of further damage where you're anchored. And you guys meet, the work that you have done, and because it wasn't, it didn't get past a threshold of damage, it's not like you guys are in danger of sinking, so it's not like alarm bells ringing, although we do have those here.
Just curious, how many hit points does our boat have?
Right now, it has a lot. And I'm not sure if that's the right number or not, but it has quite a few hit points. So
Okay.
you're not in immediate danger of going down with the
'Cause
ship.
I don't really have any way to gauge, like, what is 26 in relation to.
It's significant, but not
Yeah.
you're not in danger of sinking. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
And we can connect offline and figure that out a little bit more, because I just have a number that's written down here, but I don't even know. I can't remember what that number's based off of, because that was so long ago that I did it. But we'll figure that out. All right. Is there anything else that you guys want to do this evening?
Cranky.
I will. I'll say one more thing about the Arcane Eye, Tenoch. As you sort of pan the eye, and before you dismiss the magical essence, the magical power, you do see swimming around the hull of the ship. You see 4 killer whales that seem to be sort of inspecting and kind of looking at the ship as though it's some strange creature in their territory, and then they swim away.
Nice.
To get their buddies, go come back, start some shit.
That was the other roll that Theo botched. And you get attacked by a pod of killer whales.
That fly.
That
That
fly.
They can
Technically,
fly out of
those
the
are
water
That would suck.
onto your boat.
That would suck.
My favorite terrible thing that 4th edition Faerun Forgotten Realms introduced was the concept of unfettered sea things, like unfettered sharks, they flew, or unfettered killer whales, they flew.
Ooh.
Unfettered kraken.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You know what, Michael? I'm just the kind of guy that would be more
gonna
than
bring that back.
happy
Don't give him an idea.
to make your day.
Killer
Give
whale.
just with enough
NATO.
time and a little bit of encouragement, I can certainly make that happen. But anyhow, yes. So that was day 2 of your journey. Is there anything that you want to do this evening? And will any of you be taking a watch?
Go below, use prestidigitation to dry himself off. Definitely taking a watch, help with repairs.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
take a watch again.
I'll take a watch in that I am doing repairs until I'm done. So if something happens while I'm doing repairs, I'll be watching for that. But otherwise, I'm not going to take the watch.
Okay.
I'll take a watch just because I'm going to be, putting as many men towards fixing the boat as possible.
Okay, so are you going to have them working through the night?
Oh, I guess, yeah. Captain,
I guess I don't know. Is that something that can be worked on while we're underway? Or does the boat need to be stationary?
I think.
No,
I
you can
think-
work on it while you're moving.
Yeah. As long as we're not.
But
completely
just
sinking.
to be totally transparent, if you read the I'll patch it description, is that there is some level of your inability to fully repair unless you bring it ashore and actually get after it probably on some sort of a hoist so you can get underneath it, or maybe dive down below, somehow be outside the ship to patch it. So but yes, you can work on the interior of the ship while the ship is moving. So, do you want to
Alright,
have the guys work through the night?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. All right.
All right. And could we look at it like under combat actions for a boatswain,
Mm-hmm.
you could conduct, assist, or supervise repairs, and it recovers 1d4 plus your level each round per person focused on repairs. If I chose like a couple people and had them do repairs with me overnight, could we recover a few hit points?
Absolutely. That's a great question. I didn't anticipate that, but why not? Let's look at it. Where
I
it's
can
under
copy paste it
combat.
in chat too.
Combat? No,
Yep,
that's
so
fine.
it's a combat thing.
Yeah. So, all right, let's do this. How many guys are you going to have working on it?
I was thinking, since I'm the boatswain and I get to be in charge, and I haven't spent very much time with Kyle, I'd choose Kyle.
Shit.
And then I do have a fondness for that one guy and the other fucking guy, or the other guy and that one fucking guy. So those two. So I'd like both of them and Kyle to help me out.
All right, so you got 3 guys working at it plus yourself. Go ahead and roll.
I have
We're
a
not-
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, is this something I can use my rally ability to help out with, or is that only for battle?
That's for battle.
Okay.
And this really is for battle too, but I'm gonna throw you guys a bone because I think it's a good idea that you should be able to
Okay.
gain some hit points back during non-combat. It is gonna cost you units though.
Yep.
Just so you know, so somebody's keeping track of repair units, hopefully. So go ahead and roll. Let's do this. Roll 4d6.
How much is a moon unit?
I know. We're just making this stuff up as we go, and hoping it has some sort of semblance of
18.
making sense. 18. Okay. So I will say that working through the night with the 4 of you, you will all take a level of exhaustion.
Okay.
You will regain 36 hit points.
Okay.
So that roll times 2. And what I would like is Rhunar to roll a persuasion check for me.
Okay.
You can, you sort of, you give the order, Rhunar, that these guys are going to work. Byron, executes the order, picks the guys that are going to help him. And Byron, as you guys are working through the night, you get the sense that that the men you've chosen they're a little bummed out. They're disheartened. Their morale is sort of slipping a little bit because of the fact that they're having to stay up all night and deal with this problem, and so that will affect the morale of the crew. But you
Okay.
are able to gain back the hit points, and that just jot down what that costs you guys for your
Cool.
repair units.
So I just want to double check. We had 11 points of damage left. Is that correct?
You did. So you guys are back to where you were before.
So if
and
I
then
mark
some.
that as 5 units per, that'd be 55 units. And then the 15 that I did, would that use units as well?
We'll say no,
Okay.
because that's one of your character abilities, your PC
Cool.
abilities. Yeah.
Then I have our repair units. All
I'm gonna have to
documented.
remember all these rule decisions I'm making right now. It's
Don't
good thing
worry,
we're recording this.
I got some of them written down, so you don't have to
All right.
worry.
Okay, great. So yeah, you guys work through the night and are able to get the job done. The guys are exhausted. You're
Huzzah.
exhausted the next day. Let's go ahead and let's figure out if conditions improve. How about that? Let's get a D20 from everybody on day 3.
No good noises there. None.
19, a 2. And a 12. 7. Okay. All right. Before we start the next day, this is day 3. Let's go ahead and take a break. We haven't taken a break yet. So let's do, should we do 10 minutes? Is that good for you guys?
Yes.
Works for me. I do
All
want
right.
to. I do want to take a moment and thank this guy, also known as Kyle,
Hey, Kyle.
for being our 2nd subscriber, I think, or 3rd
Hey,
subscriber.
thanks, man. We also got Minnesota Muse subscribed today, too. So, Minnesota
Oh,
Muse, thank
hot
you very
dang.
much. Really
Wonderful.
appreciate that. Thank you for
Here's something.
the support. We really like it. And we'll see you
Hell
guys
yeah.
back here in 10 minutes.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Bye. Hello, everybody. We're back. I hope you're back too. Hope you got yourselves a refreshment and did anything else that you needed to get done during our break. We're ready to roll here. It is the third day of travel. It is a beautiful, clear day, very different from the day before. Although there's a strong wind, which works to your benefit, you will be able to increase your rate of travel, which is helpful because yesterday's rate of travel was impacted by the weather and some unfortunate rolls. But nonetheless, you do have the opportunity to move a total of 9 hexes on the map. So whoever wants to, yeah, the wind is super helpful. The water is just glass again, so there's no weirdness with chaotic waves coming out of nowhere, rogue waves. None of that is playing any sort of role here.
Here, and I thought we rolled really crappy.
No, you guys did a good job.
I guess the day's not over yet.
That's also true. So, Theo, if you're in charge of the ship, go ahead and move 9 hexes.
Captain, keep an eye out. If you don't like the route I'm going, you would have been able to tell me. So here we go.
Oh, actually, you know what? I totally forgot. Let's do that part too because we have skills that allow us to do that. Let's do Rhunar.
I opened my mouth.
Thank you. A navigator's tools check, please.
Right.
And you do have a +1 to your roll because you do have a map that you're using to chart your course.
You map.
Ugh, 8,
So
9.
9. Okay.
Right back into that reef.
You're not totally on the mark in terms of your the course that you chart for the ship, so you won't Theo get advantage. It'll be a straight roll for your water vehicle check.
11.
Good lord.
And luckily, with the water, the conditions, the environmental conditions, the way they are, you only needed to break a 10. So you do succeed, and you're able to move forward with those 9 hexes.
You're going to point us straight towards Cyber. So here we go.
Now, at this point, Byron, are you awake? Are you sleeping? Are you still working? You guys are just kind of coming up from the below decks where you and Kyle and was it Tamis have been working through the night, or the other guy?
Me, Kyle, and the other guys.
Yeah.
Both of the other guys.
Oh, okay.
That one guy and the other fucking guy.
Okay.
So I'm gonna send them to bed. So and then while exhausted, whatever part of the ship that they were working on, I'm gonna work on. So whether that's I guess I don't know. Tying knots, watching sails. So I'm gonna be at disadvantage for a lot of that, but
Yep.
I'm going to be out there helping too.
Theo is going to, like, as the captain goes by at some point, goes, maybe you should toss the boys a bonus, just in case, for the all-night work.
Yeah, we'll take care of it. We'll give them a couple extra grogs tonight too.
Byron,
If they're awake. If they don't sleep through dinner.
go ahead and let's make a roll. What are you're trying to do some additional repairs?
mostly I'm just trying to man whatever post Kyle, that one guy, and the other fucking guy would have been doing.
All right.
No,
For the sake of
typical.
having a roll to just play with, roll a carpenter's tools check for me with disadvantage. And let's use Constitution as your skill or your attribute. Yeah. You've been up all night slaving away. Rhunar, Fritz comes up to you and says, "Yeah, Captain, you might want to check on Byron. He's still down there working. He's been working all night. Man needs to sleep."
All right, I'll go check on him.
Rhunar, you walk down and you find Byron kind of like looking at stuff, and he's trying to be proactive, but he's just not really getting much done. You can tell that he's just sort of shifting things around. He's like putting some nails and some tar, a pail of tar over here, and then he kind of wanders over to look at something else and lets it sit there for a little while. He's just it's just not really productive work.
Byron, go get some rest. You guys did some good work last night.
We're gonna be down 4 guys then.
It's all right. We're almost to our destination. The conditions are much better today. I think we'll be all right.
But the ship, man. If the ship, dude.
Well, we still got, Theo and Tenoch and, that other fucking guy.
Okay. No, don't bother that other fucking guy. I sent him to bed.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I meant the other guy.
I sent him to bed too. They helped me all night.
The whole crew was down here?
What?
I thought it was just like, okay, never mind.
No, I had 3 guys helping me. I didn't do this myself. You kidding me? Look at all the shit we got done.
What is it? Is it like midday right now? Is it like in middle
Sure.
of the day, or is it?
Absolutely.
Maybe I'll take a nap. Okay.
Get some rest. We might, we're going to be getting close to our destination. Probably around sundown.
All right. I'll go to bed.
Byron, you shuffle off to your location, and Rhunar, you maybe spend a little bit of time just sort of cleaning up after him, because there's, nails laying around and just tools on the floor, and it's just kind of chaotic. Is there anything that you guys want to take care of during the 3rd day of travel? It's a beautiful day, blue skies, strong wind at your back. You can see the landmass of Sybarate Isle in the distance, getting closer as you continue to sail throughout the day. Seabirds flying overhead, giving you an indication that you're approaching land.
Nothing major. Theo's gonna sing a little bit now and then, but that's it.
Okay.
I'm gonna check out the land with my spyglass.
All right. Yeah,
Or
go
I'm
ahead
just-
and roll a
gonna be-
perception check with advantage.
And checking the horizon just to see if I see any other boats or anything.
It
Sure.
is a island entirely of alligators, just bristling piled on top of each other, alligators on alligators roiling in the sea.
That sounds horrible.
God. What happened to my good rolls? 9.
You guys used them all up at the beginning of the session, I think.
I know, right?
Yeah. Oof, the dice. Yeah, you scan the horizon with your new spyglass. Pretty proud of yourself, looking out. You've got the whole captain thing going on. And you can see that Sybarate Isle ahead of you. You can just start to catch a glimpse of what appears to be other ships that are moving on the horizon in the direction of the island. So you can see that there's activity over there, coming and going, ships on the horizon. Nothing really behind you from the direction that you came from in terms of other watercraft, but you definitely see activity in the direction of Sybarate Island. Hey,
All right.
Thanks for following. Someone just followed
You're
us,
welcome.
and that was great.
Nice.
Or that was Nate
Hooray.
2000.
I didn't see the name. Oh, there it is. Nice.
All right. I need somebody to roll a d20 for me.
Tenoch, you're the only one amongst us who might be safe.
All right. Here it goes.
Right, Mother Tiger.
Yeah.
Mother Tiger came through. We hope.
Huzzah, Mother Tiger.
Hopefully that's good.
Okay. So as the 3rd day comes to an end, you see Byron, you're sound asleep, just snoring away. The rest of you have done your duties for the day, piloting the ship, charting the course, overseeing the crew. Tenoch continuing, I'm imagining, to study sort of the techniques and the routine, the cadence of the work that takes place on this particular ship. Each ship having a bit of its own character, as you're starting to learn. And of course, the rest of you who have sailing and marine and shipwright backgrounds know this well. Things seem to be humming along. The night falls, you drop anchor, you are close to Sybarate Isle, but although not yet in port, though you know that tomorrow you will be. So that evening, is there anything that you want to do the evening before you set into Cyber itself?
At some point when Tenoch is up in the crow's nest, Theo will just pop his head up. Oh, hello. Do you want to look at a spell book?
Sure. You just have one?
Well, it came off a dead guy, and I've been studying it. Thought I would
Fair
share the
enough.
wealth.
Sure.
Here you go.
Thanks.
We've had that for so long.
I know, right?
I was like, oh, you should give him the book
Yes,
too earlier.
It's all
Finally put
full
it to
of
use.
Magical
I
bric-a-brac.
know.
Yeah,
Might come in handy.
yeah, I'm sure it will.
Ah.
Did it already have description of what was in it? Okay.
It's a spell book that came off the wizard from the haunted house. I forget his fucking name.
Yep.
Oh,
I'll write
yeah.
that down. Santabalet.
Or- Yeah.
Chamberlain.
Chamberlain, yeah.
Yep.
Before we got our boat.
Tenoch, ping me in between sessions, and I'll get you that information of what's in the book.
It was head like, drops
We
down and then it comes back up. It's like, but I'm keeping the hat, and pulls out the tattered wizard's hat that he's
Oh yeah, that's right.
puts it on his head, and then just disappears slowly back down
Smart.
with the
Very
tip of his
smart.
hat.
The hat. I
Kinda-
forgot about the hat.
Tenoch doesn't need a wizard's hat. He's
Yes,
got a,
Uh,
he's got a tiger mask.
Okay,
See, I've got a fancy spellcasting hat too.
so we're not there yet, but
It
can
makes a
we
difference.
anchor somewhere nearby the port.
yeah, you're
We can-
probably
then
based
we
on
can-
the hexes. You're about, I don't know, what is that, 1 hex away?
6 miles?
Yeah, you're approximately 6 miles away.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what your scale is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It is, yeah. So yeah, you've dropped anchor at this point. It's nighttime, the night has fallen. Is there anything you guys, the question out to you that I put to you was, is there anything else that you wanted to accomplish this evening, the night before you go into port?
I don't think so.
I think if Byron's fully rested at this point, as night's hitting, he'll actually take a watch. Shockingly enough, and
Wow.
Get out.
he'll
Wait,
play
what?
cards with the guys that are also. He ruined their sleep schedule, so he's gonna gamble with them.
So while that's happening, Theo is definitely going to come by and just for the 3 guys, just say from the captain and drop 3 gold in front of all 3 of them.
Nice.
So 9 gold total or 1 gold apiece.
9 gold total.
3
Nice.
gold each. Nice.
They're gonna like that.
All right. Roll a charisma check for me, or roll a persuasion check, Theo, with advantage. Nice.
23.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. You can see their eyes light up. Byron, you can tell because you've been sitting with them for a while playing cards that their spirits are a little bit more jovial now. They've had a couple of cups of rum, and they're feeling better about things. And you improve the morale with your gesture, so you're back to +4.
Nice.
Fucking important, and Theo will micromanage.
You should. You definitely should. The mechanics of morale, I actually I updated it because I went through all this stuff, and it's good. I like it. It's gonna be fun. All right. So, anything else, Byron? Is there anything that you want to do other than you're playing cards with these guys? Let's do this. Let's make a card. What's a card roll?
Slide a hand?
Card roll.
Are you gonna cheat?
No, I'm not. I mean, I might cheat so that they win,
All right.
so that they make more money.
All right. Let's see. Go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check. Let me just double check their passive perceptions, which is, not great.
Good.
15.
What's the total? 15? Yeah, they don't detect it from a passive perception.
So yeah, they'll win some money off me.
Tough day for you. You're getting screwed, but I don't know much about biology, so I got nothing to say about that. Hey, what you think this port's gonna be like, Byron?
I think there's I don't know why I took your accent.
That's my accent, boy. That's
know,
that's the half orc talking, Kyle.
all I know is when that halfling was doing that dance thing with the tiger stuff, they said to be cautious. So I have a feeling we're gonna want to keep our heads on a swivel.
Always do, sir. Always do.
I know you do. You're a good man. I think as long as we all have some fun, I think this is going to be a profitable trip for us.
The other guy takes a big swig of his drink and says, "It's fun winning your money."
Yes, tend to do that. It's like I tell you to work late and you take my money from me. It's not fair.
Job's gotta get
It's
done.
a little fair.
They seem to be pretty happy with the way things turn out. They win a little bit of money. They get a little bit of a money drop from the captain via Theo. Whoever's taking a watch, go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Theo and Byron, on your watches, you can hear in the distance shouting in the direction of Cyber. It's not like you can't decipher what's being said, but you can hear the voices of people coming from the direction of the town. You can see lights in the distance that you can make out pretty easily, but in a great distance away. And you get the sense that there's a lot going on tonight in Cyber. You're just not sure what it might be.
Only we had
Tenoch awake at the same point I am at any point during that.
If you want him to be, certainly he can be.
Because Theo's just gonna come over.
Yep,
So-
I'm there.
And I imagine I was imagining this, but you can tell me if it's wrong. I imagine Tenoch is still in the crow's nest.
No, I think he's up on the bowsprit.
Awesome. I don't know which part that is.
That's the very front.
Capital. So Thea's gonna come over and goes, does your hawk see things for you?
I mean, I can see with his eyes.
I don't know how this works for you. It is very interesting magic you have. I do not want to assume anything. But I was wondering if he might be able to fly out over land and see if the noises we are hearing from out at sea are the good kind of noises coming for Cyber, or we're going to show there and the whole place has been burned down because of an insurrection.
Yeah, yeah. And I'll call my hawk down. He comes down.
What does it sound
No,
like?
proper form of the I don't know how to make hawk sounds. It actually sounds exactly what a bald eagle sounds like on television.
Oh,
Little known fact, bald eagles do not sound as majestic as they do on TV,
no.
and that is the sound of a red-tailed hawk.
Yep. We're always going to use a
Absolutely.
red-tailed hawk for our
Yeah.
sound. I'm gonna have to get
Yeah.
a hawk sound now for our
Yeah.
soundboard.
So yeah, it calls down the hawk, and he kind of holds the hawk close and whispers something in his ear, and the hawk flies off. I know I can technically telepathically talk to it, but that's less fun.
How far out do you send it?
I mean, I'll send him to Cyber.
Okay.
6 miles, that's a long way. He's a fucking hawk. He can do it.
Kenny.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
Roll a hawk check.
All right. How do you want me to roll that? What kind of check is that? What's a hawk check?
Let's do a Constitution check with the hawk's ability stat block. And then
okay.
just to double check, so when you have a familiar, you can see through its eyes up to a certain distance, correct?
Up to like 100 feet.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So he's gonna have to go fly around and then come back.
Come back and
so
tell you what he saw.
Yep, and I knew that. So when I whispered to him, I told him to go check out the city and find essentially like key in on like finding the loud raised voices, the loud noises. Let me just a Constitution roll for the hawk.
Sure.
Ooh.
A hawk can fly between 20 and 40 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Well, fuck.
All right, so I will roll a d20 -1.
Okay.
So 14.
Yeah, no
That's not bad.
problem.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
It takes some time. The hawk is gone for a bit, but then makes its way back to you. And how does it communicate with you? Telepathically?
Technically, but that's less cool. So he'll land, and then he'll whisper in my ear what he saw. In hawk, but I hear telepath. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
You hear it in a language that you can understand somehow.
Yeah.
It's D&D, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's probably Sylvan or something.
Your familiar is not very realistic. Oh, well, guess what, guys? Familiars, that's make believe. Okay.
Yeah. It's not a real animal. This isn't second edition.
Yeah. This is a fey creature, guys.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so you get the message that there's some sort of revelry taking place in town. No fire. No fighting. Many drunk people.
Perhaps a holiday of some kind of celebration.
They're just having a good time.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Delightful. What type of treats does the hawk like?
I don't know. Meat?
Mm-hmm.
Theo pulls out some jerky and just tosses it to the hawk.
It eats it.
You're a very good hawk. And Theo just goes out to finish his watch.
All right. So the watches go fairly unimpeded. There's no strange encounters that you have throughout the night. The men stay up a little bit later than they have on the last couple of nights, drinking and playing cards and having a good time. Excited that tomorrow they'll set foot on land and perhaps find some additional entertainments that will be of interest to them. And the night passes without incident. The next morning, you wake to a beautiful day. Clouds in the sky, but nothing ominous. A light breeze blowing, and a short voyage of essentially 6 miles ahead of you to make your way into the port of on Sybarate Isle.
Saber uppercut.
Do I need another navigator's check for this?
Nope,
Little
not at this
travel?
point. You guys are close enough where you don't need anything like that.
See, we just kind of point to make the ship go that way.
Yeah, you can visually navigate. You will, let's see, where am I? There we go.
Gotta dodge all the crocodiles.
Yep. Before we get to that, is there any preparations that you make before heading to the docks? You can see them in the distance as you get closer and closer to the port.
Are we still flying a Merchants Guild flag I don't think we ever took it down.
I don't think we did either.
No.
We'll just keep it up.
I was gonna ask Rhunar, Captain.
What's up?
Do you think we should change the name of our ship for this port? Just because, you know, they know that I rode on your ship and I killed that William Ray Cyrus guy. That Cyrus Ray William. That Cyrus Ray William. Whatever his name is. Cyrus William Ray. Lord Cyrus William Ray.
Right. Do you think that this other island would know about that?
Giggity.
I mean, if they're chasing after me, if he was a made man and I killed him, are they not going to hunt me here?
I mean, I guess the impression I got was Alesco didn't seem too concerned as long as we left town. But
Okay. Yeah, maybe it hasn't reached this far out.
I mean, technically, I guess it wouldn't hurt, but
Regardless, I'll just lay low.
all right.
Well, we can change my name for this island. I'll be Dave.
Dave.
Dave McGillicuddy.
Dave.
It's just
That
like a very
sounds made
unrealistic
up.
name. Fantasy
Alright,
setting.
fine.
We have to add like an apostrophe in there somewhere, or just like a DAYVE or something.
There's no A. It's D''VE.
Oh, there we go. Now it's L.
Dave.
DeVay.
Dave. It's pronounced Dave.
We might as well just go with Doctor.
Yeah, just call me Doctor.
Doctor.
Dr.
Doctors.
McGillicuddy.
Doctor.
Now
Doctor.
Carolyn
Ah.
Schnapps.
There's only one prescription for this, and it's more cowbell.
Your
We are
prescriptions were
looking for a
generally more
doctor.
sword.
Yes,
Yeah.
and this rapier through your spine.
Seems you have a low iron diet. Let's fix it.
So you're gonna
Okay.
change your name to Dr. Dave McGillicuddy? Is that right?
Dave McGillicuddy, just for this island. It's not. I'm not fully changing my name,
Okay,
but
so
I'm
Dr.
gonna
Dave
announce
McGillicuddy,
myself as that name. And I'm
Love
gonna
it.
actually use my beard potion. Then I'm gonna pour a little bit on my head, and I'm gonna pour a lot on my face, and I'm gonna grow a really long beard.
Nice. Oh, that's
Byron-
right. You
Byron
purchased the beard
becomes-
grow.
the gift of beard.
Did you buy that from Ebenezer Klovak in Monmouth?
I sure did.
Yeah, that's smart. All right.
It's
You
just gonna
rub-
give
you-
him a
you-
big
it's-
rash.
You pour the potion in your hands and you slap it on your face, a little bit on your head, and instantly you got this massive beard, and your hair just goes. You got like this kind of, I don't know what kind of hair he has, straight or curly or whatever.
You know,
but
normally
got a
it was like kind of
like a
well kept.
pop
But,
thing.
I'm gonna slick it back with some of the tar that we use on the ship, so it's like slicked back, really nice.
The tar
Yeah.
is not coming out. I'm warning you that as a player.
Don't put tar
now.
in your hair. Don't put tar in your hair.
oh no.
He's doing
So
it.
we can
It's some
We can
frickin'
shave it.
oil.
I can shave
Oh,
my head
we can
later. I'm
always
not
shave
worried
it.
about it.
Yeah.
I gotta hide my identity. I'm not on this island.
Well, now you look like
DM ruling.
crazy
Will
guilt rat, but-
prestidigitation take out tar?
Oof. I don't know.
No,
I'm gonna have to-
will not.
there'll definitely have to be a roll involved.
I said definitely a little bit. I did say a little
It
bit.
might have to be
That
cast at a
counts as
higher
soil.
level,
A little bit
Okay.
of tar is a long bit of tar.
and it's hard to cast a cantrip at a higher level. So
I'm a
yeah.
warlock. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see what
Oh,
happens.
power! I'll bring up some of my zombies to help. It'll be fine.
Wait, your zombies can
Nice.
cast spells.
Oh yeah, they're all like intelligent magic wielding zombies. You didn't know that?
No,
Oh,
they're hairdressers, aren't they?
That's part of their magic, but that's
Right,
not what
yeah.
we're here to talk about.
Yeah. Hairdresser
Alright.
zombies. I love it. Yes,
Okay.
Captain Deg.
Good disguise. Good disguise. Okay, are we pulling into town now? Now that we're done growing beards.
Captain, Fritz comes up. Yeah, Captain. Well, so what do you want us to pull into the docks, or what are you thinking
No.
here?
Not the docks, too expensive. I think we find a anchorage in the bay here somewhere.
Yeah, smart, real smart. That's why you're the captain, Captain.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, okay then. So he goes and starts getting the men ready, and you're making your way in. You're approaching the harbor, and let's just do this because we can. Theo, make a water vehicles check for me as you pull into the harbor. Now, as the ship sails into this open area of the Cyber Harbor, nice, 25, beautiful. You see ships coming and going. It's not as busy and cosmopolitan and industrial as the port of Monmurg was. It was all those things at the same time, which is interesting. It's a big city. This is a lot smaller scale. As you approach, you look at the landscape in front of you, and it's all very low lying. In fact, there's this thick, almost ring of mangrove forest on the edges of the shoreline that really blocks a lot of what you can tell of the town itself. You do see that there are a couple of hills at various locations that have structures upon them, including small strongholds that look to be of some sort of defensive purpose, large structures that appear to be sort of maybe opulent mansion type locations. Let's do this. Let's actually bring you guys over to the cyber map.
The cyber map.
Cyber map.
Are we hacking the planet?
We're hacking the planet. All right, so there are two different areas that have docks and look to be commerce-based locations. Those are marked with the numbers 1. And so you can approach either one of those. It's up to you guys. And you can dock anywhere you want in that area. Let's do this. I think I can grab... I'm going to grab your ship because I can do that.
Dare you?
I know.
I mean, is this place bigger than Saltmarsh?
Slightly bigger
Looks
than
like-
Saltmarsh. Yes.
Dave, did you
Okay.
make this map?
So
I
it's
did.
most likely
Yeah,
going to be.
Yeah.
This is phenomenal, dude.
This
I
is
made this
Wow.
map
Incarnate,
with
baby.
Incarnate, yeah. So Theo, you can, because you rolled so well, why don't you go ahead and drop the good buddy wherever you'd like him to be, or her.
She. And yeah, she's gonna stand off in the harbor away from everything to
Do
give
I have
us
any?
come and going some room, but still be where we need to.
Okay.
Do I have any insight from past experiences at being at Cyber, which I have to assume that some of what that insane history roll involved me being here because that was a lot of fucking knowledge.
Okay.
Do I have any insight about like, I don't know, maybe best or at least better practices for like getting a deal at a dock or a better place to like anchor and not have to park at a dock, like a more advantageous anchorage spot. Does that make sense?
It does. I'm trying to think. I would like you to roll to determine that. I'm trying to think of what the
Yeah.
roll would be. It could be an intelligence check. It could be investigation, maybe, if that was something that you think that Tenoch would have actively investigated while he was there, or if it was just something passive. I would say
Probably
a
something
perception check.
passive.
Yep. So go ahead and roll a perception check.
That's less advantageous. But I'm really good at rolling sometimes, so I'll
Sometimes
take
sometimes the die works for you.
the bones go
Um,
my way.
You do know that from what you picked up from conversations between crew members and the port authority, if you will, of Cyber, that there are fluctuations in berthing fees depending on the time of year. This is very much an agricultural port. They export a lot of the crops that they grow here, and so during the harvest, there's a little bit more of a demand for space.
Okay.
What you do know is that the docks on the western edge of the map are closer to what's called the Broken Wharf, which is the main sort of, I don't know, there's a lot of commerce, there's a lot of marketplaces, there's a lot of vendors in that area. The set of docks to the eastern, the north and the east, right in this area, is closer to the warehouse district. And that's what these buildings are here. These are all warehouses. And this is where shipping, especially the agricultural products that are grown here and harvested, are shipped out of this port, out of these sets of docks. So based on your role, I would say you would probably understand that it'd be more expensive to dock at this location on the eastern set of docks than it would be on the western set of docks.
And the time of year is such that it's a more expensive time of year or a less expensive time of year?
Roll a nature check.
Ooh.
We do have cargo to recover.
Yeah.
Boom.
Very nice. Wow. Some nice rolls.
Nice. Yeah.
The
Tenoch.
last nice rolls I'm going to make.
You do know, based on your connection to the natural cycle of this region, you're from a location within the Amadio, which is not that far away necessarily. You're in the same sort of bioclimate. And this is essentially coming up on, and the rains the previous day would have indicated that this is, you're just on the cusp of the monsoon season. And in Cyber, typically, the harvest of crops takes place right before the monsoon, because as you remember from your previous visit, the landscape of Cyber is very low-lying. In fact, a lot of the Broken Wharf, for example, is built upon wooden planks and platforms to protect from flooding. And these rivers during the monsoon will swell. And so they tend to get the harvest taken care of before the monsoon. The monsoon hits, the rivers swell, the water becomes hypersaturated. And then as that sort of recedes after the monsoon season, all of those nutrients are kind of deposited on these fields, and that's when they plant. So it's very busy, I guess, long story short.
Okay.
In that area to the right over here, it's very busy. There are many ships at the docks. They seem to be, there's a lot of activity that you can tell on the docks, people loading cargo. And so, yeah, you get the sense that would be a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, I'll find the captain. Yeah, captain. It's yeah. I think your intuition is right here. It's this time of year. It's best not to have to bargain for dock fees. It's really expensive right now.
Figure we don't go in until we need to. Once we have things sorted out.
It's very expensive. They're getting ready to offload all the crops and stuff to the rest of the area. So this is a busy time of year for the port here.
All right.
So fees are more. Fees are higher.
So I mean, we probably can't anchor out where we are right now, right, Dave?
You guys can anchor wherever you want.
Oh, okay.
As long as it's shallow enough where the anchor can take hold.
Yeah.
Yep. And I would say that area out there, sure, you'd be able to anchor out there if you want to. It's a long ways away in terms of like paddling your
dinghy.
dinghy.
It just seems like dinghy wise, it's like a long dinghy.
Yeah,
ride.
it's a long paddle. So I would personally recommend getting closer. You know, like maybe in here, possibly.
Yeah, I was thinking somewhere around here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's get even closer.
Because anywhere, I would think.
Not that close.
Too far.
Not that close.
Either
Nope.
that or
I don't think I'd go over there either.
But I think this is more protected. That's more protected right here. And these ships can get out from where they are. That shouldn't be a problem. All right.
You get the sense from your experience at sea that the area over here where these small floating sort of islands are of vegetation is probably pretty shallow. So probably
we don't
staying
wanna
away
go
from
there.
that area would be a good idea.
Okay.
So yeah, where
should
you're
we-
at, you guys can drop anchor there, no problem.
All right. I'm
What's-
gonna tell them
what-
to drop anchor and
What's the draft of this boat? It doesn't matter. I'm kidding.
there's big boats like ours at
that's-
the docks.
Yeah, get out of here.
Get outta
That's too
here.
much detail.
I want to go to
Is
this
this a no
town.
wake zone?
That's right. That's right. Ah, so I
Are
got
there buoys clearly?
my outboard
marking the
motor's too
channel?
big.
Yep.
All right.
There are no
Sweet.
buoys.
I didn't think so. All right.
So what would you
Congratulations.
guys like
It's a
to do? It is morning. It's mid-morning at this point after you've sailed 6 miles into port. You've dropped anchor. You're well rested. What would you guys like to do?
Into town.
Yeah, we should go see if we can track down this. Well, there's two things we need to do. We need to find the cargo that's being stored here somewhere, and we need to find the doctor, right?
Yep. Octavio Gra.
Perhaps we should ask the specialist we brought along about this.
I know, good place to
Look at
start.
Tenoch.
Dave, can I? Alesco would have given me some kind of documents, right, for recovering the cargo. Perhaps.
He would. I don't think he would have given you documentation.
Okay.
He would have given you a contact location to seek out the Dry Dock Tavern and inquire about the doctor's whereabouts. Because he doesn't know. He doesn't know what happened. He doesn't know where the cargo is. He doesn't know where the doctor is. That's kind of what you guys are sent to find out. But he knows enough that the first place to check would be the tavern, which is called the Dry Dock.
That's exactly where I was thinking we should go.
Yeah, let's go there.
Having been here before. I
Um,
mean, nothing happens on Cyber without going through dry dock,
Smart.
right?
So who's going
You
into
don't
town?
say.
me.
Yeah.
I think we're
I'll
going
go.
into
I'll
town.
go in. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so the
let's all
4 of
go
you are going in.
Does.
Are you taking any? That's right, Kirk. Byron has got his hair slicked back with pitch. It's like sticky, and black. Just I don't know what your hair color normally is, Byron. I haven't looked at your character sheet recently, but
Black.
yeah. So it's just shiny black, slicked back. He's got this huge beard that just sticks out and kind of gets in the way. He's kind of bumping. He's very unused to it, so he's kind of bumping into things with it.
Gentlemen, I'd like you
Call
to
me
meet the doctor.
Dr. Dave McKillingutty.
McKillingutty.
Killing Gutty.
That's Byron's alias for this island. So,
Dr.
Why
Dave
don't you-
McKillingutty.
I'm going to call you the doctor, nothing more, and we're
That's
going
so
to
good.
go with that.
We
That is
should have
so
given
good.
him the hat. Why didn't
Yeah.
you give him the
Gutty.
wizard hat?
Yeah, that's so good. Oh my god.
all right, it's convincing.
Is it though?
Normal people
like
dress
The
like
whole
that.
time we're
Flat
here.
No.
Oh, you're
man.
just stuck with it, Theo.
That's so good. All right, so you guys, are you gonna
Comment
take
here.
anybody else with you? It's just the 4 of you. You hop in the dinghy.
I'd like to grab sails as well.
Oh, all right. You're gonna take sails. Got it. So, the 5 of you paddle in, and you make it to the docks. And as you do, you're paddling in, and there are ships departing from the docks, going past you. You look up at the ships as they go by, and you can see grizzled sailors going about their business. Some of them take notice of you as you're paddling in. You get a couple of nods of acknowledgement, but for the most part, it's just business as usual on a ship and getting ready to chart their course to wherever they're going. You do paddle in to the docks and find an area where you can tie up your dinghy. And as you do, a small gnomish man walks towards you. Plan on being here very long?
What's it to you?
Oh,
Whoa, relax, Doctor.
Sorry.
Sorry.
are you a doctor?
He's had a long day.
This beard is so itchy.
It's a fine beard. Tell me, are you truly a doctor?
Yes.
Hey, look.
Oh no.
Look, man, he kind of looks around. He says, the berthing rates here for a small dinghy, they ain't cheap, but they ain't expensive. And I'd be willing to waive the fees if you were willing to take a look at something for me.
I'll look at it.
He kind of looks around. He says, it's a bit personal.
Let me see
Do
it.
not take off your pants. Please do not take off your pants.
And
Rhunar, just get out of the boat.
he as you get out of the boat, he kind of motions you to the side, and he pulls off his boot.
Oh,
Roll-
okay, that's
roll-
not so bad.
Roll a medicine check for me, and roll a deception check as well.
Curious, can I have an advantage on deception? Because I have a massive beard and slicked back hair.
He looks very doctor-like.
Do you look
It's
like a
okay.
doctor?
I mean, I'm lying, so yeah, I don't want advantage. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm not sure that would make you look like a doctor necessarily.
We got a 15
That's
on
still
medicine
pretty
and a
good.
14 on deception.
So he pulls off his boot and he lifts his foot up and he shows it to you. And there are 3 of his toes, his little toe and the 2 next to it, are green, and they have this weird flaky, like red inflamed fungus growing over the top of it. And he's like, "Is there anything you can do, doctor?"
I can take them.
Excuse me?
I'll
Excuse
take
me?
them off for you.
You mean amputate?
Do you want to keep them and lose your leg?
Is that the prognosis?
I'm
You can
not
see he's starting to
saying I-
sweat.
Listen,
Oh my god.
I'm a specialist, and this isn't my expertise. But
The
best I
beard,
can
the
do
beard belies the fact that you're well versed in these things.
It's pretty bad. How much money do you got?
Not much. I've got.
Well-
How much does it cost for the surgery?
Well, here's the deal. I think you should talk to a better doctor than me.
What?
I mean, I looked at it, and you said you'd waive the fees. But I am honest, I just don't know it. I've never seen anything like it. It's disgusting.
Wait.
You should. I could take it. I could take the foot, but I can't do anything else.
Hell, I'm not letting you touch me. And he puts his
All
boot
right.
back on.
Well, thank you for waiving the dock fees for me and my crew here.
Wait a minute.
Appreciate you, and have a wonderful day. Get that checked out by a professional.
Roll a persuasion check for me with advantage.
$24.
And you guys just kind of walk off, and he's just kind of stammering, and he puts his boot back on. God damn it! He just watches you walk off.
They'll teach him not to trust every doctor who comes in on a boat.
Exactly.
Charges to park a dinghy. What's going on in this town?
There was a beach. We could have just pulled it onto.
Yeah. We'll do that next time.
Coastal economy, dude. People are always charging for pretty much anything to make money and keep things moving. So you guys enter into the the Broken Wharf district at this point. You walk past what appears to be some sort of an office space, an office sort of complex right here where there are people, shuffling papers. They have books, ledgers that they're working on. They're checking numbers with other, people from the boats and sort of taking care of whatever sort of commerce is going on at these docks here. There's a lot of activity. What's that?
Fireball it.
Wait, what? I don't have that spell.
Shit, never mind then.
I mean, you could totally do that if you'd like, if you have that.
If I had a fireball, I probably still wouldn't do it.
That's probably good.
Fire's a hot commodity in the jungle.
All right. It really is. You guys make your way into town, and there are open air marketplaces with all kinds of wares, mostly foodstuffs. There are a lot of fresh fruits. There are people selling booze on the streets.
Fish on a stick?
Theo will immediately get some booze.
Sure, fish on a stick.
I'll buy some
of that.
Yep,
I'm
you're
gonna
able.
buy it.
Yep, you can grab some fish on a stick, no problem.
I'm gonna ask the fish guy which way to the Dry Dock Tavern.
It's
Oh,
over this way.
The dry dock, yeah, it's all the way over to the east side of town. Past the warehouse district.
Oh, okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Theo will at this point grab 10 gold, hand to the sales, and just go, you just work your magic and don't kill anyone. Also, don't get dead. Both of these bad things.
I can probably handle that. Let me ask you this: is there anything in particular you'd like me to focus on?
Get a lay of the land. Find out who's in charge and who do we want to not piss off.
Easy enough. Gentlemen, good luck. And she walks off into the Broken Wharf, stepping over what appears to be a small crack in the planks of the wharf, the platform, where there is vegetation growing out of the platform, and as you look down, you can see that there's water underneath, sloshing around, and you get the sense that things just kind of smell like the ocean in town. There's definitely a strong scent of fish, of sort of decaying kelp on the shoreline. You get that vibe going on. But you guys are gonna head to the tavern.
Indeed.
Yes. Indeed. The dry dock.
This is the way.
Yep.
This is this building here?
Let's see. Yeah, in fact, let me do this. Number 5. The dry dock.
Fucking numbered.
There you go. So you guys take a walk. You walk past the number 4 here, which is the warehouse district. And you can see that there is a complex that appears to be some sort of merchant's guild hall of sorts, a mariner's guild hall, maybe. There's a lot of activity. You can see that there are wagons that are carrying bundles of what appear to be, well, actually, let's see. If anybody's interested in knowing what the bundles are, you can roll a nature check, I guess, if you want to know. If you don't, that's fine too. Yeah, Byron and Theo, while you don't necessarily know exactly what this is, it is some sort of almost like a grass that's bundled together, but thicker and flat-leaved. It's kind of a broad-leafed grass. Think of like Kentucky bluegrass, but much larger and wider and fatter.
Does it look expensive?
It doesn't look expensive in and of itself, Byron. What did you roll?
16.
It doesn't look expensive. However, you get the sense based on the carts that are transporting this to the docks and the warehouses that it's definitely valuable.
Okay.
But you don't get a sense of like whether or not it's what its value is necessarily. But yeah, you just from a commerce perspective, you're like, oh yeah, this is a major export.
Cool. I'm gonna make a mental note of that to mention to the captain later as a potential export opportunity. But also I'm gonna try and see where they're headed with it as a potential. I'm kind of a vagabond and I like to steal stuff.
Yes. So in this location around number 4, so you guys are kind of walking on these dotted lines. The dotted lines in this map are basically like the streets, the main streets. There are offshoots all over the place that I didn't draw, but those are the main like transit routes. And so you're basically walking down this transit route here. Oh wait, there we go. Here. You're walking past number 4, and you see that there are a number of warehouses. That's what these little rectangular buildings are on the to the right and below the number 4, kind of wrapped around it like an L shape. Those are warehouses. You walk past that. You walk towards the docks here, and there are a bunch of small huts that look to be in this area here that appear to be residences, almost temporary in nature. They don't appear to be permanent structures. They're kind of like grass huts, basically, thatch roofed, circular, almost like think of like a yurt.
Like an Airbnb.
Possibly, if you were,
Or
it could
perhaps
be.
the residence of seasonal workers from deeper in the island.
It's more that than the Airbnb thing for sure. It's definitely like the seasonal worker, and that's there's like clothes hanging on clotheslines that are drying, and kids playing, dirty kids running around and having a good time, that sort of thing. And then you continue on past the docks, and you get a look at the docks now too here at number 1. And there is a lot of activity going on. Those wagons that are bringing the crop to the warehouses. On the other side, there are bundles being loaded into ships that are getting ready to depart the harbor. Nevertheless, you make the rest of the way towards the Dry Dock Tavern, a short walk from the docks. And you take a look at it as you're approaching, and although the thatched roof, appears to have maybe seen some better days, the weathered stone structure offers a welcome respite from the ocean, the wind, and the water. There's a large brass weather vane that sits atop the roof, and above the entrance, there's an old wooden sign that sways in the breeze, squeaking its welcome on rusted chains that says the Dry Dock.
Looks like this is our place.
After you, Captain.
All right, let's go. I'm thirsty.
Or adventure?
Thirsty for
That-
adventure.
I'm always thirsty for adventure.
Or
but
whatever goes my way.
I could use a beer too. Just saying.
Oh, that's fair, yes.
You walk through the door, you're stepping inside, you notice there's a crackling fire in a large hearth, and there is a definite aroma of food that is delicious. It smells really good. There are booths and tables scattered around this bar, fashioned out of, and then there's a long bar that's fashioned out of a piece of driftwood, kind of inviting you to come in. It's a very inviting atmosphere. There are a couple of people, although it is early in the day, so there's not a whole lot of patrons inside at this time. But there is a man behind the bar. He seems to be drying some of the glasses and mugs and sort of tidying up behind the bar as you enter.
Nice.
Welcome, gentlemen. Come in. Have a seat. What can I do for you? Come on in. Oh,
More
wow.
ales, please.
4 of you. Ah, absolutely.
Whatever smells good, if that's available, I would love some.
Say it again.
Whatever you have that smells good, I would love some.
Ah, fish stew. Yes. Me daughter is just making up a fresh batch. It'll be done in just a few minutes. You'll be the first customer of the day. Now, you don't win anything for that, but, you know. Maybe one of your friends can pat you on the back. And he turns around and he starts pouring some mugs of ale for you.
He starts looking around like, gonna do it. Just gonna pat me on the back.
I'll pat you on the back.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Doctor.
Listen, guys, I'm out of money.
Again,
I don't have $1 to my name.
I got you. Don't worry.
Thank you.
He sets down the mugs of ale in front of you. That'll be 16 copper pieces.
Oh,
No,
got it.
tell me, fellas. You look to be strangers. Where are you from?
We came from Monmerg.
Ah,
We run
yes.
business.
Ah, very good, very good. First time here.
It is actually. This is the
Ah,
first
well,
time.
welcome to our wonderful town of Cyber.
Thank you. Your docks are in disrepair. Have you ever thought about fixing them?
That's not really
I don't-
my that's not my ballywick necessarily, but I'll be certain to pass that on to the Bureau of Tourism for you. Yeah, for sure.
Bureau of Tourism.
Now, hold on, let me get hold on, we've got comment cards here, and he grabs a
Very
card and a
You have a
quill,
pamphlet of local attractions.
and he
Well,
sets down a piece of parchment in front of you with a quill and some ink. Just write your comments down, and we'll I'll take them to the bureau.
You're a gentleman.
I pull a pamphlet off of the counter. What is the cyber experience?
Ah, yes. Well,
Is that some kind of
Gonna
water
stick our
park?
toe in
Theo
your
is
ass.
just drinking his ale, watching this like.
You don't want to know.
The cyber experience.
Right now, this is the cyber experience.
we do have a
inside
variety of activities if you're interested.
Actually, you know what? We're in town and we have a friend here. We're kind of looking for him. I was wondering if you might know him. His name's Dr.
Octavia McGraw.
Yeah, Dr. Graw.
Dr. Graw.
He's a member of my practice.
Oh, you're a doctor too.
Yeah, Dr. Dave McKillingutty.
A lot of doctors in town. Well, yes, Dr. Graw. You
He
may.
likes plants.
Yes, I've met the man.
Oh,
It may be of interest to you to speak with his assistant. Yes. His assistant is staying here. Her name's Tanika. Tanika is can't remember what her last name is. But she does stay here. She's staying up in a room. By the way, would the 4 of you be needing a room then while you're staying here?
Not right now. Perhaps we'll get back to you.
Well, we do have a variety of services, as I was about to say. Your friend was asking about the experience here. We do have lodging, of course, food and drink, of course. That goes without saying, although I'll say it. We also have, if you are in need, we have a bathhouse in the back. Mending of clothes and gear, of course. We offer the laundry services. Companionship can be arranged if that's something that you're interested in. And we also have fishing charters on the river, if that's something you're interested in. And then the real experience in my mind is the tours that we offer. We do have a tour later today, actually, out to the Cruzcan distillery. Some samplings, a little behind-the-scenes tour of the distillery, that kind of thing.
That sounds fascinating.
Theo's head is just cocked over to the maximum side angle as he's just staring terrified by this. And just
There's
wait,
so
wait,
much to do. I don't know if we can decide right now.
Hold
We're
on,
gonna have to
hold on.
talk about it.
I have an important question. What
we
is
have to
the
provide our
grass
own
that everyone is?
transportation for this tour.
I do have a waiver here. Hold on 1 second.
Tenoch, do not encourage him.
Theo,
But actual question. What is the grass that everyone is bundling and putting on ships? We are new. I'm not familiar with that export.
It's a. Are you familiar with sugarcane?
Yes.
Yes. It's used in the distilling process to make rum. Yes, you're familiar with this drink, of course.
definitely.
This is
Never had it before.
one of our main exports.
Example?
You may also see that there are a variety of different fruits that are being exported, rare fruits to be exact. There are
We are
many
familiar with rare
plantations around the area, of course, that Sybar is known for. On the outskirts, of course, of the glades. But yes, I would say because of the harvest that's taking place now, of course, the monsoon season is upon us. So they are harvesting currently the cane. Is there an interest to see more? I could organize a tour if you would like to the processing of the cane facility.
You've been plenty of help. Leave us alone. We need to talk.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Plan.
Very
Yeah,
good.
good.
Very good. He walks away, pretending like he has something else to do.
All right, guys. What do you think? What do we do? What should we do?
Well, I guess we go find this Tanika, this Dr. Graw's assistant. But I'm gonna finish my stew first.
Ale, stew.
Dave,
Yes, sir.
I did want to do an insight check when he was saying when he was talking about when we mentioned Octavio and he started saying stuff like, "Oh, I've met him," and like, "Oh, maybe you should talk to his assistant." I wanted to see if he was like trying to withhold information, and I rolled an 18 on an insight.
Roll an insight check for me.
Yep, I rolled an 18 earlier.
I know, but I didn't ask you for an I didn't ask you for an insight
okay.
check. So go ahead and roll me an insight
Okay.
check now.
Okay.
Ooh,
16?
whoa, wow. That's a
not
lot
bad.
low. That's a lot lower than 18. A lot lower. Significant. It's 2 points lower.
Oh no.
It is precisely 2 less.
It is. It is. You, Byron, you do get the sense from your keen sort of ability to judge people's forthrightness that he seems to be very on the level. He seems to be very interested in providing you and your comrades with a wonderful experience while you're in Cyber, and that the comments he made regarding his knowledge of Dr. Graw and his recommendation to talk to Tanika were truthful and forthright.
Very good. I'll whisper to like everyone, and I'll be like, guys, I think, and I won't do it in my accent because these guys know I'm doing an accent. Guys,
Yes,
yeah,
Dave.
we should leave this guy a nice tip. He's been really good to us, telling us all about the town. I mean, I think we get a lot of information here.
He walks out at this point and he's carrying bowls of stew, of fish stew, and he sets them down in front of you guys. And you take a peek at them. You look inside, there's turnips, carrots, onions, mussels, crab, a couple of different varieties of fish that you're unfamiliar with. It's a very hearty stew that just has this beautiful aroma.
Serious stuff.
And then he comes
Yeah.
back a minute later, and he's got a side of a dark bread, almost like a rye colored bread with butter on it. And he sets it down in front of you, and he takes a towel from his belt and kind of wipes his hands off, and he says, "Another round, fellas."
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Please, that'd be great.
At this rate, I'm not going to want to leave.
He brings out another round of ales for you. And then
last time I was in
go ahead.
Cyber, we didn't get to do one of his tours. Maybe we do this distillery tour, see what happens.
Let's talk to the nice doctor's assistant.
Yeah, business first.
And then we can do that.
Business first.
Because I want to give the DM time to write up that pamphlet at a presentation.
Oh, I'm ready to go.
I guarantee you it won't take any time.
I can give a distillery tour at the drop of a hat. If you would like, he'll bring out the tab for you guys to pay.
Sure.
And let's see, the ales are going to be 32 copper pieces, and then the 4 bowls of soup is going to be 8 silver on top of that.
Okay. I got it.
That is expensive ass soup, but it was good.
Yeah, it's high-end soup.
How much silver?
like-
8, you said?
Yeah, 8
Packed
silver.
with protein.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. So you guys have arrived in Cyber. You have made contact with the proprietor of the Dry Dock Inn, the tavern and inn, I should say. And you have gained a little bit of information about what might be your next steps. A lead, the name Tanika. Tanika can't remember what her last name is. And the fact that the proprietor of this particular establishment seems to be someone who is being forthright with you and giving you some really good food and drink. And I think what we'll do there is we'll end the session tonight. It's 10, so we have made landfall in Cyber successfully.
Hooray, us.
Yay, guys!
Hooray, we didn't sink our boat.
You did not
survive.
Yay.
Closer than we want to, but yeah.
You did not
slight
sink.
detour on the way. Yeah.
Well, guys, nice job. As always, that was super fun. I'm very intrigued about this alter ego of Byron's.
No shit.
Yeah.
He
I'm
seems
big-
like a.
Just kind of came
Yeah.
to me.
Have you thought this through? What if we're on Cyber Island for like a while?
I'll be Dr. Dave McKillingutty for a while.
All right. Okay.
What a great name. Oh, boy.
Does the doctor fight with a different weapon?
Yes. He only uses a dagger because it's similar to a scalpel.
Nice.
Oh, my God.
I'm
Oh,
alarmed.
he's gonna do like back alley surgeries and all kinds of good stuff. Oh.
Yep.
Well, at least you're not a
gonna be
dentist.
amazing.
At
gonna
least
be
you're not a
great.
dentist. Nice job, guys.
That
was
guy better
fantastic.
get his foot checked out. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That
That
was
poor gnome.
nasty. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even want to look at it. I almost threw up. Into my beard.
I almost feel like we should find him a doctor.
Yeah. Well, everybody, thanks for hanging out. I think there's still some people in the chat. We appreciate your
Yeah, there are.
support. It really it means a lot to us. We love playing this game just to play the game, but to be able to share it with you and enjoy ourselves in your company is a lot of fun. So thanks for stopping by, and we'll catch you next week on Beyond Saltmarsh. Don't forget that tomorrow night we've got the big launch, session 1 of Midwinter Keening right here on the Guild Superior Twitch channel. Chad will be DMing, we'll be playing. There'll be some other players involved. It's going to be cool. I can't wait. I hope you'll join us. Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.